has a fast-acting viral strain that infects the host immediately, and upon getting sick, the infected will become racked with coughs, sweat profusely, and start to get the shivers and chills.
There he is, the legend. The man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah. You can't literally run a promotion just for the AEW, what do they call them, sickos?
Thank you very much, TikTok and AEW. See you tonight.
Tony Khan started telling people there's no such thing as long-term booking anymore. It's week to week.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
We just secured the bag.
It's not like I tried to be a character. It was just sort of happened naturally. But it was never something I intended. It was just something that happened because the wrestlers asked me to do things in matches, and I do them.
If you run a promotion just for the sickos, you're going to do 400,000 viewers eventually.
Mother effing melts.
Know that SmackDown actually went over and everything?
Yeah.
You know,
What's the point?
the point of SmackDown.
What are you getting at here?
That the DVRs didn't pick it up.
Did they not pick it up?
Mine didn't.
Let's get into everybody's favorite moment, and it is called Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week.
What would you like to listen to in your ears?
I'd like to hear the flute.
Well, if you'd like to flaunt your flute, then we can find you a flautist.
We just secured the bag.
It doesn't help me.
Okay, so complain, but
I will complain.
Let me have my misery.
And when I heard that, I was like, what?
Thank you, fuck you, bye, boom.
You got to run a promotion for everybody. The sickos can be the ones that buy tickets first and spend the most money on the merchandise.
Because we just secured the bag.
But, you got to promote for everybody. Then you'll have a lot of viewers.
I think we proved a lot of so-called experts. We made them look like idiots. We're not going anywhere. Tony Khan's not going anywhere.
You'll also be there on TNT. You'll be in 2 places at once. You'll have my favorite movie. Time. It's so great, Pittsburgh.
It's not like I tried to be a character. It sort of happened naturally.
the best guys, Tony Khan.
To keep themselves safe.
Yo, Hulkamaniacs! MTV's got a brand new show, The Big Show, with big videos, live music, weird acts, comedy, and a different call-in contest every night. They're giving away cash. They're giving away TVs. They're even giving away a bus trip to Cleveland. They're giving away cameras, comic books, a jet ski, and a one-night stand with the Who. They're even giving away me, or at least a night with me, at a private screening of my new movie. And on the first night of the show, they're giving away this new Harley Davidson. It's the Big Show. Live contest. The largest honors in the world. Live winners every night.
Premieres this Monday at 8 p.m. 7 Central. Only on MTV.
Tell me how uncomfortable wrestling boots are, truly.
Well, mine are tailor-made for my foot.
Yeah, but you wore shitty boots over the years for sure.
Yeah, when I started, I borrowed someone's boots that were a size too small, and that kind of sucked. And wrestling boots are $400. Again, I was making $20.
Are they really $400?
I think they're up more now.
How often do you have to change them?
So I'm a weirdo, though, because I've kept the same design for my boots for my entire career.
You've never changed your design?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Is it laziness or is it content with it?
It's like this weird thing where I had them for like probably 12 years. I've had maybe 3 sets of boots. Each set lasts me about 4 or 5 years. And then at a certain point, I was like, wow, I've been wearing these boots for 10 or 12 years. I'm like, I think I'll just wear them my entire career.
That was, you made the decision.
But like, I also wore like tights my whole career. And then maybe 3 years ago, I started wearing like pants, not just the, spandex tights. So that changed. And I thought, well, if I'm changing my look, I should change everything. But the boots stayed.
And yet the boots remained.
Yeah. So I don't know what that is. I don't know what sickness in my head is just like the boots. No, like that's the constant.
Okay.
What's happening, guys? Welcome to another eclectic edition of PWT Sicko Saturday Night. Yeah. I am your host, the infallible Phil S. Marks. And we're here. It's Saturday. Thank you all for being here. As people file in, we have NXT Vengeance Day going down. We kick things off with Blake Monroe versus Jada Parker in a street fight. I would say, Jada's going to get the win, but I think Blake, her thing is like when she unleashes her dark side, and like when she fought in the cage match, she like got the win or whatever. So I think when the weapons come into play, they're kind of leaning into how she was all hardcore in AEW and whatnot. Not necessarily AEW, but you guys get what I'm saying. She can kind of death match and all that shit. I think they're kind of leaning into that, and so I think she'll get the win here. Welcome. I hope you guys are watching NXT Vengeance Day. Maybe you're watching UFC. There's UFC on as well. The BMF title's on the line. Max Holloway and why can't I? Charlie Olives. We were talking about it the other day. Charles Oliveira. And so they're fighting for the BMF title. Also, AEW Collision is on, I'm pretty sure, but we ain't watching that. So yeah, let's talk about Vengeance Day here. Tony D'Angelo versus Dion Lennox. We saw Dion Lennox in the parking lot there. Tony D is in the house. Of course, you got Tatum, our girl Tatum Paxley's doing her thing. You got Lola Vice. I think it's an underground match, right? With Kalani, and then Joe Hendry and Ricky Saints once more. Ethan Page could make somewhat of an appearance, possibly. There's a possibility that he pops up and gets involved or tries to swerve somebody in some way, somehow. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm locked in for Vengeance Day, and I hope you all are too. Collision, I mean, we could pull up the card for that, but I don't really know. I don't really know if there's anything really going on with that. Let's check it out. AEW, yeah, I don't have usually I have all the cards bookmarked, but for some reason Collision, I was just like, whatever. Let me pull it up. Is this just looking at my tweets? Motherfucker. Okay, never mind. Guys, listen, let's get into WWE here. Ladies and germs, without further ado, let's start the show a little differently today. We're just diving right into WWE news. We're going to dive right into it, and we're going to talk about Cody Rhodes winning the WWE title right off rip. We have fan footage of it here, so we won't get striked or nothing like that. And well, before we do that here, oh yeah, I didn't do like any plugs. I just jumped right in and was eager to talk. Guys, hit like, hit subscribe, become a member, or gift a membership like Plenty and Pixel, who just gifted 5 goddamn memberships. Guys, thank you so much for that. I really, really appreciate that. And hopefully some people got those who wanted them. Member Mondays go down, and they are fun as fuck. I don't know if we're going to watch Raw this week, but we'll do something fun on Member Monday. Thank you for gifting those, dude. That fucking rules. And guys, quickly, you can become a member or gift a membership. It's only 99 cents. And then also I have patreon.com/Pro Wrestle Times. Those are the plugs. Thank you. I acknowledge you, Plinian. And I was just ready to jump right in. I was eager to get on the air today because people are flipping out about Cody Rhodes and whatnot. Rabid Wolverine Ellis Killer 17 gifted 1 Pro Wrestle Clips membership. Fucking amazing. Appreciate you guys so much for gifting memberships. That's huge. And people have said like, yo, I got gifted a membership, checked out member shows, and I've been re-upping ever since, and that's awesome, and I appreciate that so much. Andre Adams 8004 for 5 says Collision broadcasting live from a swap meet or flea market near you. Buddy, I couldn't hear. Let me, while I'm babbling and I'm talking to you guys, where is it? Where is it tonight? I know I got the card here. AEW Collision card. I'll just find it quickly. I gave up because I'm like half watching NXT as well. And they got tables, they got pink bats. It's only a matter of time before we see some pink cocaine, some pink dust. Let me see here. I want to jump into some WWE news. So, let me get my drop and let's just dive right into the juiciness. So, Cody Rhodes on SmackDown won the WWE Championship. Good for him. Air horns for him. And he's doing the damn thing. Obviously, they've been teasing Orton versus Rhodes for like a fucking year straight, as we've talked about many a times. Rhodes is a guy who can afford to kind of lose the belt. Like people are still fucking with him whether he has the belt or he doesn't. So, again, as we've talked about, he can afford to lose the belt and regain it back and lose it and gain it back. With that being said, though, people seem to be upset. Now, this crowd video, I mean, it's just internet noise, okay? This crowd video tells a different story, though, because this crowd was loving it in person. And then we actually have some sicko / wacko. I think it's like wacko on wacko violence to get into in a minute here. But let's just take a look at this and look at the crowd reaction.
Come on, come on, come on!
Crowd going nuts. And there was a video of fucking Mark Nash going nuts. So some people are saying, like, Drew's got to go film that movie right away, which, again, we talked about that so many fucking times. I mean, all of those things could be a factor. I think he's going to now fight Jacob Fatu because Jacob Fatu's mad at him and got his teeth kicked out by Drew and then is going on. So I feel like that's a bit of a proxy war. I feel like how we got to Rhodes and Orton isn't everybody's favorite. Like, chat, I think I put a poll in the chat, youtube.com/@ProWrestleClips if you're watching on X. There's a poll, like, do you think this was the right way to get to this match? I don't know. That's neither here nor there. They have like a month and some to heat this shit up. And they've done that the last 2 years. They heated everything up. To me, I think we could have benefited from having more. I don't know. I just think swerving the belt around, like now Drew's fighting Jacob, right? People are saying Nick Aldis. Okay, but he's a GM. But like, okay, I mean, remember when Flair fought Taker at, I think, 18? I think Flair was the GM right before that, no? And then he fought Taker at like WrestleMania 18 or whatever the fuck. So in a street fight too. So Aldis can go. You guys can see him through his suit. He's jacked and all of that. He can still go. I'm sure he can still work just fine. I always wanted to see him wrestle in WWE. So that could be okay. That could be good, but is that at Mania? And then it's like Fatu, Drew, and somewhat of a proxy war. Like, yeah, Fatu's mad at Drew, but they've just been pulled apart and not in a way that's made us go, oh, we want to see them break apart and just get hands on each other and shit. It's just been Drew obsessing over Rhodes, but he's also attacked like 10 other fucking people. And then Fatu's just going to lock in on Drew, I guess, right? That's the match, whatever. Hopefully they swerve me with a Nick Aldis. I love it. Once they announced, you guys heard my reaction to, maybe it was on a Member Monday show, I don't remember, but when it was announced, like I didn't hear the announcement after Chamber. I didn't see that little clip go online or whatever of Aldis and Drew where he's like, and you got a rematch against Cody at SmackDown. I didn't fucking see that. So when I heard it, I was on the air and I was like, ick, dude, yuck. Because when Orton won the Chamber the way he did, I was like, okay, now we're adding layers of like storytelling here, like heat, layers of cinema, as the kids say, right? Now we're adding, because listen, the Rhodes Orton story, yes, they've planted the seeds of Orton just being like, yeah, I'm going to come, like eventually I'm going to want the belt, right? But that kind of goes without saying. They're passed together with as legacy. That kind of goes without saying. The fact that Orton has the voices in his head and he'll just punt Rhodes and shit, that kind of goes without saying. These things all are established and they're there. And then when you add a layer of like, okay, Rhodes gets distracted by Drew again, and then Orton RKOs him and then takes his opportunity at Mania against Drew, who after giving him every opportunity in the world, Drew snaked Rhodes. So imagine if it was like Orton versus Drew. Rhodes is a guest ref. I caught heat on this for Twitter. People are roasting me. I don't care. I stand by it. But again, how many manias do we have? Not to jump all over the place, but how many Orton manias do we have left? And again, I say that all the time. So yes, if you can get Rhodes Orton in, that's more of a main event than like Drew Orton or Drew Fatu for the title, because the title helps like Drew and Fatu more. But all I'm saying is, if you add that layer of then Orton beats Drew, the guy who took everything from Rhodes, who even distracted Rhodes, you know, you add that extra layer. Orton beats Rhodes in the Chamber, and then he beats Drew, and then Rhodes just fucking has it and snaps. But I think he's going to turn heel either way. So if we get to the heel turn, well, who knows? They might have, because I think Orton's going to win this goddamn title, and then Rhodes goes to, what, they take it to SummerSlam before he turns heel. I know that Rhodes is beloved, but there's got to be a heel turn in there somewhere. And I want it to come out of nowhere. I don't want it to be expected. Like when Cena turned heel, even back then, I was like, fuck, Rhodes might turn heel here. Chad, he's fucking wearing black and gold and shit. He might turn heel. And then it was Cena that turned heel. So like as far back as that, we've been talking about Rhodes is going to turn heel. Rhodes is going to turn heel. So you got to kind of do it when it's not so obvious. I just think the road, if there is anger, I think the road we took to get there. And then is Fatu Drew like a big Mania match? I think Aldis Drew is kind of more, even though it's the right thing to do is Fatu Drew, you know, but Fatu won the title from like LA Knight, I think, right? He won the US title at last year's Mania. So like we got to go up with Fatu as well. Obviously Roman, it's a weird position to be in too, when it's like you have names that people want to see get elevated and pushed. Because like Roman and Punk doesn't need the title. Orton and Rhodes don't need the title to like elevate them. But like, wouldn't the title elevate Drew versus Fatu, or like Fatu versus someone or whatever? Yes, it would. But at the same time, like it's a big money, big fight feel, heavyweight title, 2 nights. You have your main events both nights. And it's with names that everybody fucking recognizes. So, and it's sort of like 2 gens, like Roman and Rhodes are 1 gen. And then you have Punk and Orton that are another gen. Maybe Orton a little bit before Punk, but he was right in the mix wrestling like, he was in that era, the Edges, the JBLs, all of that shit as well. So, but then also on the other side of things, like, Rhodes went to AEW, blah, blah, blah. Punk on the other side went to AEW, blah, blah, blah. So all of those elements are there. They're the perfect fucking main events for Mania. But if there is outrage, I can see why. Like, it's just their course of getting there. I don't know if they're thinking it's not as story based as when The Rock was. Well, it is though. It is, but it's just. I think people want to see Drew do more. I think people didn't expect him to just lose his fucking title so quickly. But again, that's sort of been his MO this whole time. It's like he wins the belt, he gets distracted with other shit, and then he loses it. So it's right there. I mean, it fits his character and everything. I have nothing but faith. Like, I trust the process. Like, I'm not shitting all over it, but yeah, I can see where my other problem is too, like, we have guys like Fatu, Tala Tonga, Omos. Dude, we need like big giant fucking guys like that as well, I think, to be these big monsters that are just like larger than life that can help get people over too. Again, you point to like Cena versus Big Show when he won the US title. I know the Big Show lost a lot and whatnot, but he also was like Cena beating him did a lot for him, You have Tala Tonga right there, and he's just like a glorified giant jobber. Omos, send him to Mexico. Brock is in an open challenge, You mean like Brock versus Fatu? We could that could have been built too. If you have the fucking time, you can tell the story. And the reason I'm kind of shitting on is like because Drew and Fatu, it's sort of a proxy war. Drew attacked a bunch of people. Fatu's mad at him, but he was also mad at Rhodes because Rhodes grabbed him in the cage, and then it's sort of it turned on both of them, like the heat's on both of them. So I'm not clamoring for a 3 or 4 way either, but there's a way to, I don't know. Drew versus Fatu feels like some Saturday night main event shit, but they'll go have a banger match. Or it's Drew versus Aldis, but then where's Fatu? What does he do? And I suggested on Twitter, I'm like, they could have built Tala Tonga up versus Jacob Fatu for him to, like Fatu goes crazy on everyone, and then Tala's this guy that he can't budge, and then they get locked in a fucking cage, so the MFTs at Mania can't get in. Or something like that. I mean, something, because if it is Aldis versus Drew, what does Jacob Fatu do? Just beat the US champ, beat Brock in the open challenge? Okay, then there's Royce and Obafemi, who everybody expects it to be that, I think. And not that you need to do what everybody expects, but Brock's already gone out there and been like, no one has the balls. If you're in the back, you don't have the balls to come out here. Paul Heyman was saying that shit and no one stepped up. So why would he just step up at Mania? I get it was on Raw, but you guys get where I'm coming from, I'm sure. And then some people were like, oh, why would you put Rhodes as as a special ref at Mania? And it's like, I don't know, man. Wasn't Austin the ref at fucking versus when Brock versus fucking Goldberg at 20? We know Austin can still wrestle, so I'm sure like it's happened a bunch of times where the biggest fucking a big name, you just got to keep people on their toes. It's not ideal, but I just think that if the outrage is actually real, but it turns out that this outrage is actually not very real, I guess. Who knows? This could just be some bum talking shit on Twitter, but apparently, it started making the rounds in the dirt sheets that this Rhodes video of him winning the title back on SmackDown got all these fucking dislikes. And people often point to this as a sign, and it is a sign. Like, if a video gets fucking ratioed with dislikes, then that is a sign like, okay, the people who consume this thing on YouTube aren't fucking with it, right? But then when you factor in the fact that people do shit like this or are doing shit like this, allegedly, this is all, who knows? This guy could just be talking shit, but this guy, Demon, and he's a WWE fan, Raw after Mania 40. he says this. So someone posts a screen grab of the likes to dislike ratio. And by the way, this is where this is a dumb idea. Most people who use YouTube don't see the dislikes anymore, so it doesn't really matter. And if you have 1 billion subscribers or whatever WWE has, 100 trillion subs on every fucking social media platform or whatever, then doing this doesn't really fuck with them because they have people watching all over the world. So it's not like a huge swarm of like, there's a bot farm in Arizona, like disliking this video. It's not really going to fuck them up in any way. Right. But who knows? This guy could just be talking shit. So this guy here goes, "You're welcome. Already paid for 100K more tomorrow." So he paid for, this guy's saying he paid for, and he posts a screen grab of him paying for 100K more dislikes. And this guy's a WWE fan, unless he's covert, but like this is some wacko ass activity for sure. You know what I'm saying? So let's see here. This guy goes, "Gotta get it up over 1 million dislikes." You know, and this is why you can't listen to the internet. This guy goes, "That's going to cost me a lot, LOL. It already took $250 to bot 65K dislikes." Now, this is where this guy's a dummy. At the worst, it'll just make YouTube contact WWE. When you're a channel as big as WWE, you have a direct line of contact with YouTube. They'll just contact them and go, "What the fuck's going on?" And it will affect them zero. If anything, yeah, keep doing this. If anything, it's going to help YouTube zero in and eliminate a bunch of bots or something like that. It has to. Because when you're a channel this big, like if you're a YouTuber and you're like botting your shit, don't ever do that. That's fucked, right? Like that's obviously going to fuck your channel. And you see a lot of these like Whitney Cummings channels or Brendan Schaub, like they did have poppin' channels, but then once they started to die off, then they start botting. That'll fuck you too. When you're the size of WWE, I don't think it affects them at all. Like they have so much actual 24 hours of the day. They have something live going. They drop videos every fucking hour, every half an hour. They have something coming out, multiple channels. They generate tons of revenue for YouTube and WWE. And it's not going to like fuck up the algorithm. Like the way people break it down in layman's terms, like, okay, you get like 1 million views from India because you're botting your shit. And YouTube's like, but these aren't your subscribers. So what the fuck? And it actually fucks your algorithm. You know, it's like an easy way to explain it. That doesn't matter because YouTube is getting views from all over the place all the time. So I just really don't think this would even affect it in any way other than you spending money to voice your displeasure. But like, is that the way to do it? That just seems so cringe and sicko-ish. Like, why are the wackos now becoming sickos? I fucking knew this would happen. So it is pretty fucking crazy. But at the same time, hate is gonna hate. It's the play a hater's ball. No, like, I don't know what to like this fucking random bot company, this idiot's giving his money to some random bot company to do this. I think good because he's a dumbass and he's just fucking getting his money ripped off anyways. So I don't know. It's just not a W. And then this guy goes, "I botted 75% of it. There are more coming into. Shit is slow. I'm going to try to give it 250K dislikes by tomorrow." And people are like, "You can't believe he's actually doing this." And it's like, nah, dude, I do believe it. Like the IWC's cooked. So here, this guy, he spent money. Yeah, charged $284.375 for 65,000 dislikes. YouTube dislikes refill. No, max 100K. Start time instant, speed up to 100K. Completed. Dude, that's fucked. That's actually cooked, man. And that's why you can't believe when you see all the Jey Uso hate. Well, I don't know. No one's copping to buying bots on that. But that's pretty fucked that people are doing shit like this. Just to be like, oh, we don't like that Rhodes. So are these like anti-Cody crybabies? Remember the Cody crybabies? So are these like, what would this be? Drew Dushies? What do you call these folks who are just hating on Rhodes this much? And yeah, they have a few weeks to heat things up, guys. I wouldn't be too weary about it, but I don't know. I don't think it. I do think some people are upset by it, like who are typically have been saying, WWE's been doing good lately. I don't know. Right? I'm sure there's some people voicing their opinions like that. And then that, because without that, where does the outrage, like it's just one guy who paid $250 to get all of those dislikes. I just hope it gives YouTube an easier time sniping all of these fake accounts or whatever the fuck, has to be done there. But yeah, so don't believe the hype. And it's stupid too, because that type of interaction on a video, whether it's like or dislike, I don't think the dislikes are help making YouTube go, we're not going to push this video. If there's 1 billion dislikes on a video, I think they're going to go, we're pushing this like it's getting traction. It's getting views or whatever the fuck. So it looks like engagement. What YouTube pushes is like retention rate and click-through rate and engagement and things like this, right? More so than, oh, you have 1 million subs, we're going to, So I just don't know if this is going to backfire or not. This might just get this out there more, and more rational people go, oh shit, Rhodes won the title. Shit, I got to watch SmackDown. They're doing title switches, But yeah, anytime I tweet something out like semi-critical at WWE, my fucking the followers are like, "What the fuck, Phil? What are you hating and shit?" It's like, no, dude, I'm just trying to like. I like the cinema and the drama. Okay, so if we can add layers, if Orton can then beat Drew, and then Rhodes is like, "What the fuck? Drew took everything from me." After I gave him every fucking paranoid chance, and Aldis and Aldis is against me and blah, 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 blah. He hits a crossroads on Aldis. They fought in NWA before and shit. They fought in AEW before at All In or whatever, like there's some history there too. And we might get to all that anyways. I'm just saying, like, you could add, because people expect to, there's a big part of the WWE IWC where they think Orton's going to punt Rhodes. And that's kind of a heel. He's got the voices in his head, so he's going to do the heel turn thing on Rhodes, which that could happen. I mean, that could happen. But the fact that they're both positioned as baby faces, like big time baby faces, and then you had Drew there, it was like, oh man, it's perfect. You have Rhodes as the guest ref. He's going to call it down the line, but he fucking hates Drew. And he's kind of mad at Orton, like, think about what Orton did, took his fucking opportunity away. And then he's raising Orton's wrist at the end, everyone's crying, crossroads. That's how you end Mania. Night 1, because they put it night 1 as well. Right? The World Heavy, Punk versus Roman, is night 2. Probably because it's going to be like the big babyface celebration, whatever. So I think they'll swerve us. I have faith they're going to heat it up, but it's got to be a little different than Roman Punk. They can't just cut scathing promos and talk about dads and your dad meant it. Well, Rhodes, your dad meant a lot to me, kid. And, if they're just going to do all that shit, I mean, hey, it's all been done already. So hopefully they can get it across in a way that's different. And maybe we don't know as well. Like, does Drew get added to this match in the next few weeks? He could totally get added to this match, but then where's Fatu? Do they both get added to this match? That's not off the fucking table either for the people who want the 3-way or the 4-way or whatever. That totally could be on the table. But for the next month, you at least have Rhodes and Orton on that marquee. And if you decide to add to it, it's not like it's going to ruin it. And it's not like you don't have Rhodes and Orton on the fucking marquee. So I'm not hating. But if there was a couple more layers to this drama, but with Drew and all of that, I think it would benefit more. And if they just fall back on Drew Fatu, I'm going to be a little, I don't know about all that. This NXT show that we're watching has just been hardcore madness. But yeah, there was 106 dislikes, and they were saying in just under 24 hours. But if that guy botted it, then that's why all of those dislikes came so fucking quickly, right? And so speaking of things that were disliked, Motor City Machine Guns were the first team eliminated from the tag team turmoil. We have Truth and Priest are now like the number one contenders for the tag titles. And again, man, I'm not trying to shit all over the Fed here. All right. But this is some Vince ass shit in a way where it's like, okay, they're two singles. Yes, the Judgment Day before they kind of teamed. If you want to pull that card and go, well, they were in the Judgment Day before, Phil. Okay, listen. Does that count? Does that honestly count as like they were a team before, whatever? They're two singles guys thrown together. Last minute, you have all these fucking teams, and we can't get Fraxium over. We can't get fucking the Machine Guns ready for a tag title match, putting over the next generation of guys or whatever the fuck. It's MFTs versus at what? SmackDown before Mania or at Mania. And we can't like get a storyline going with Motor City or anything like that. I think it's crazy. I think it is kind of crazy. And they got eliminated. They kind of botched it as well. I'm not sure what happened with this, if this was part of a fucking storyline or if it was just genuinely a botch. People are kind of deliberating it a little bit. Let's take a look. I don't want to get pulled here, but like he takes a big move, Saban does, and then he just like finds his way over to the rope, which is what it is. Axiom kind of throws them. They're not in position for whatever they're trying to do. And then I'll scrub through it. It's like one, and then the foot's on the rope, and then Frazier pushes it off. Then the ref counts a 3. And then I just want you guys to listen to the crowd reaction.
Oh! Well, we got a 3 count there, I think.
It's just like, what? So I'm not against when you like do shit like this to make it, well, no, the foot was on the rope, but if that was not intentional, then yeah, that went over like shit. And it was a little confusing.
Motor City Machine Guns have been eliminated.
Yes.
So it's like we were eliminated, but we weren't eliminated, man. Okay. I can buy it, but it was a little confusing. But yeah, we get into a situation where it's like the tag teams and who, let's face it, whether it's been good or not, they've been showcasing like, here's your tag division, and then just Priest and Truth, because they don't got nothing for them, just walk in and are fucking gonna get a shot at the tag titles or whatever it is. And I get it. The MFTs have been attacking everybody. It's sort of the Drew thing. It's like, oh, we're just going to have them beat up everyone, and then whoever we pick will kind of just get inserted. Okay, I guess, but fuck. And I'm not saying, again, we need a TLC match again for the fucking tag titles. No, but on either side, we don't really have anything for either set of tag champs. We can't get a tag team story going. We can't just like take some old shit that worked, call up Jim Cornette and go, what worked? What should we do with some teams for Mania? Like we need some, and then you get an idea and you just put a fresh coat of paint on it with new characters. And this happens time and time again in wrestling.
Thank you, fuck you, bye, boom.
So, yeah, and then there was a bit of a botch there. And you see it here. R-Truth and Damian Priest are the new number 1 contenders to the MFT's Tag Team Championships. This might not be at Mania. Maybe this goes down at the Go Home show or whatever. Apparently, they're planning like 7 or 8 matches for both nights of WrestleMania, which I'm down with. WrestleMania, if it's going to be 2 nights and you're going to give us, very concise 3-hour PLEs every time. 2 or 3 hour PLEs, depending, because Saturday night's main event is a PLE in some ways. No, is it not? Is it not technically? Whatever. If you're gonna give us nice, concise, like 3-hour PLEs, typically, then yeah, on Mania, go 4 or 5 hours, both night, whatever. I'm in it for the grind. I'm in it for the long haul. So you could just add a tag title match there onto the night 1 or night 2 or whatever. So moving along here in SmackDown, Raw, and main event news. Before SmackDown, they taped some main event matches, and Jordynne Grace got injured. She fucking twisted her ankle and broke her leg from her leg, Brett. That's why I broke your leg from your leg. And yeah, she like twisted her foot pretty badly. And hopefully she doesn't miss Mania. But again, what do they have for her at Mania? So she might. And at least she got her Jade Cargill title match sort of out of the way there, because if it happened before, that would have sucked. Because when she comes back, there's at least going to be a bit of hype. Again, main event. You're wondering why Jordynne Grace is on there? Well, they're filming main event matches. I don't know what to tell you. It's not a big deal. It sucks that she got hurt on main event. But at the same time, this shit happens, and hopefully she'll be good. She was in a boot, though, alongside Chelsea Green there, and they were snapping flicks. So who knows if she's going to make it to WrestleMania. I can't remember who she was facing either. I think it was the Alba Fire. I think it was Alba Fire. So in other SmackDown news, Brian Road Dogg James has reportedly departed from WWE, and some rumors were swirling, and he is the writer of SmackDown, or he was like the head of creative or whatever the fuck. I probably am misrepresenting his job title. It doesn't matter. He was in a creative role. He had pull in a creative capacity on SmackDown. He was in the writers' rooms, and he was pitching ideas and getting all emotional like we saw in Unreal. Now, I'm a Road Dogg Jesse James fan as far as him talking and doing his thing in the ring, for sure. As far as creative goes, like I think this is the second time he was on the creative team and the shows were sucking. No, I'm pretty sure he was on SmackDown like a few years ago, was his first run as like a creative writing guy. And didn't go so well. Now, Dave Meltzer came out with all these fucking conspiracies. Who knows if any of them are true, but apparently Dave is saying shit like he got his annual, employee report, like his fucking God,
it's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
His breakdown of how he's done over the last year or whatever. And he saw it and didn't like it. And according to PWI, they say Road Dogg quit WWE earlier today, doing so in person rather than being let go. Company sources have cited that he openly expressed his unhappiness and tendered his resignation from the creative team. And they had also brought in that one gentleman, I forget his goddamn name, and he's on the show Unreal as well, like a couple times, and he's pitching some ideas here and there. He wasn't a big focal point of it or anything, but he is for a shoot backstage. I forget his goddamn name, but they moved him over to SmackDown to like oversee things. And I'm sure him and Road Dogg aren't seeing eye to eye, but can I just throw one thing out there? Whoever this new dude is who's booking SmackDown, and by the way, shout out El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., who showed up against Carmelo Hayes on SmackDown as well for the U.S. title, but he's doing shit like that. And he got R-Truth in a tag title match at possibly WrestleMania, bud. Road Dogg, you were crying about R-Truth the whole fucking time on that Unreal show, and you didn't get him a fucking title match against at fucking out of nowhere, just a tag title match with Damian Priest. You didn't get that for him. So No, that's a joke. But Road Dogg, yeah, it's maybe best that he steps away. We saw him get so emotional on Unreal, and it's like probably just best if you just kind of take a step back for now. And it's not like he won't have a job in the PC or doing promo class or fucking he won't be back in some capacity in the future. You know, Trips loves them. I would love to see the New Age Outlaws both just working in NXT alongside the young guys. You know, Road Dogg should be teaching promo class and just teaching people how to let loose and be able to, like, to this day, Road Dogg can just cut that same, people go, it's the same promo. Yeah, but he can fucking do it like nothing. And I'm sure if you got him to talk shit about someone or cut a promo, okay, start talking about Undertaker right now, I bet he could do it still to this day. So you get someone like that who can just fucking go boom, boom, boom. And then Billy Gunn will teach you how to look like you're in your 40s for the rest of your fucking life and stay in shape and not get hurt too bad ever and have tons of longevity in the fucking ring. So those are two really valuable things that I think WWE should try and get Billy Gunn back and just keep Road Dogg nearby. It's not like he's completely useless. Just, yeah, if he gets emotional like that, there's some part of it where, yes, these people are your friends. They're also your fucking business colleagues. And that's why it's not good when those things fucking mix, you know? Typically. So, yeah, he reportedly quit. And yeah, there's rumors floating around about whether he was upset and butting heads and all of this. He was butting heads on TV. We saw it on Unreal with Triple H. So I totally believe that he would get emotional and upset and emotionally charged and butt heads with people. I absolutely believe that. And that's not a burial of him. It's just we've seen it. So speaking of writers and people being shifted around in WWE writer Alexandra Williams has announced on her LinkedIn that she has been promoted to vice president and lead writer for WWE Raw. As VP and lead writer for WWE's flagship live program, I oversee all creative development for Monday Night Raw, one of cable television's longest running and highest rated weekly shows. I pitch to and collaborate with executive leadership and cross-functional writing team to conceptualize and execute week-to-week storylines, character arcs, and premium live event build-ups, including WrestleMania and Survivor Series. I help drive the full creative process from episode rundowns to long-form narrative strategy. So basically, Buddy left Raw, went to SmackDown, and then now Alexandra Williams is stepping up on Raw. And a lot of people are just saying, look, it might seem corporate, but she's an intelligent woman and da-da-da-da-da. I don't know. I trust it. Like, I know people are trying to be all bum and glum and doom and gloom on WWE. I'm just not going to do that. And I know I'm optimist filled, dude, who fucking I'm always like even putting AEW over and shit where I can, but honestly, WWE hasn't been that fucking bad. It's not like you can't see why WWE did what they did with the title and shit. Like, it makes sense, you know? It's nothing to get all Cody crybaby about or anti. Like, what do we call that? Drew's is douches? That's not a good one. I don't like the way that flows, but we'll figure it out. It's Drew's Drew crybabies. I know you are, but what am I? But yeah, shout out Alexandra Williams, who's now just like catching heat and shit as well online, because that's what happens when you fucking work for the Fed. Vengeance Day is on right now as we speak. Time Cop. And so Raj Giri corrected, then recorrected, then uncorrected, then uncorrectioned himself. So there was like 3-4 tweets here about the NXT ratings, but I think this is the final one, his uncorrection. This was the final number for NXT's ratings. And he says, welp, the original number of 604K I reported earlier was correct for NXT. My apologies for the follow-up post. NXT on Tuesday averaged 604K viewers, up 3% from last week, with a 0.09 18 to 49 rating, up 13%. Year over year, NXT was down 14% in total viewers, while the 18 to 49 rating was down 40. Oof. That's rough. Do you guys think And you can let me know in chat or in the comments down below. Do you guys think that Trick and Javon and Oba and some of these guys not being on NXT might have an effect? Because it's not that they're tanking and shitting the bed, but NXT, it seems like the last few times year over year, the key demo is down like quite a bit, and then the fucking overall's down like a little bit. You know, do you think that's because they called some of these guys? And like Ethan Page is probably coming soon too. Tony D'Angelo after tonight, what the fuck do you do with him? What the fuck do you even do with him in NXT? Just keep him around because he's just a guy who's in NXT for life? Or not that that's a bad thing. There's got to be guys like that. But let's say Joe Hendry loses too, and does he move up right away, or do they keep him down there for a little while longer? It's interesting, man. And some of these people being called up, maybe that could be a bit of an effect, especially on the key demo, dude, because I believe that key demo, love guys like Javon and Trick and Oba and what they brought to the table, you know? So it's interesting, to say the least. Let's move along here. They're still like whooping or are equal to or above Dynamite or below Dynamite sometimes, but I mean, that's going to happen. They're still on even footing. So it's still developmental versus Dynamite. And then those two are still smoking TNA. So it's not NXT doom and gloom. I don't think NXT's been putting on like a bad product, as the kids say as well. I hate that everyone calls it product. You know, it is what it is, but I wouldn't say any of it is bad whatsoever. But even Trying Brian's like, oh, these shows have been good and whatnot. And then he finds a way to shit on them, which is fine. But I wonder if because of some of those call-ups, some people are like, well, fuck, I'm just going to go watch them on Raw and SmackDown, because Raw and SmackDown are doing solid numbers. So if you know Javon and Oba are going to be on SmackDown, it's like, or like Trick is on SmackDown, they go to Sci-Fi, they do an over million rating. Everyone is like, it's going to do 850 or whatever. Could that not be it? Could there not be people who weren't watching or were watching NXT and maybe still do, but a lot of them were like, well, I'm going to go follow Trick over the fuck here. Could be. I don't know. I'm not an expert in this shit at all. But Vengeance Day is expected to be the final NXT PLE on Peacock. Saturday night's main event will remain, as that was part of the deal they made when it made the move from NBC to a Peacock exclusive. So this is the last one on Peacock in the USA, because it's just on Netflix here. So what happens after that? Where are the NXT PLEs going here? Somebody asks the question, either ESPN or Netflix. I just hope they stay on YouTube for us using VPNs, LOL. NordVPN.com/ProWrestleTimes for a great deal. Yeah. Good for NXT, I guess. It's got to be frustrating a little bit if you're a WWE fan in the States. Unless, yeah, you just get a goddamn VPN, go into Canada mode, and then just watch it all on Netflix and YouTube. A lot of people are saying, too, that Netflix is going to catch on and start catching on to people VPNing and whatnot. But listen, that's been the doom and gloom with Netflix since the beginning of time. So they figured out password sharing, but as far as like you VPNing, like everything, nobody does. It's, you know, Xbox doesn't do shit about it. PlayStation, I don't think they really can. So yeah, I consider myself fortunate, because it's got to be a little frustrating being like, oh, I got to have Peacock and ESPN and this other thing. But maybe this is less frustrating, and chat can let me know, because now it's like more and more shit's going to one place. So now it's easier, actually. And I just wish Saturday night's main event was over on ESPN too. If that's the case, then right on. And good for NXT, dude. Moving on up in the world. Moving on up to the east side. So in other NXT developmental news, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says his niece Zoe Hines is signed with a contract with WWE. Robert F. Kennedy says his niece Zoe Hines has signed a contract with WWE. Was that a good one or no? So yeah, Robert RFK Jr. Has got his niece a job. A tryout. How much you want to bet she makes it through? No, listen, I've never seen her wrestle. I've never heard of her. Let's look it up. Maybe I'll go on X. Let's look up some fucking highlights here of what's her name? Zoe Hines. So let me type this into the old Google machine. Zoe Hines Pro Wrestling. And let's just see what comes up. All it says anywhere is just WWE, RFK, WWE, RFK, backstage news, NIL, WWE, RFK, pro wrestling highlights. Just WWE, RFK. So, okay, let's go to Grok. I'm going to go to Grok. And I'm just going to ask Grok, like, what is her pro wrestling credentials, if any? And then let's just see. It doesn't mean you could be missing something or adding shit that isn't there. It's AI, but Grok, what is RFK Jr. nieces Zoe Hines pro wrestling background or credentials, if any, before or prior to her WWE tryout? Let's see what Grok says. Or Gork. Have you guys seen Gork? It's like retarded Grok. It's so funny. Okay. It's thinking. Grok is thinking. It's searching. Okay, Zoe Hines has no pro wrestling background, training, indie experience, or credentials whatsoever prior to WWE SummerSlam 25 tryout. Okay, so she had a tryout back in... Okay, all right. She was and still is primarily known as a collegiate athlete from softball. She played infield, outfield for Boston College and graduated with a communications degree. In high school, she was a 4-sport varsity athlete. And yeah, so she had an NIL tryout. I mean, okay, it's fair enough. She has at least a sports background to get an NIL, to warrant an NIL tryout. But would she have been on WWE's radar otherwise? That's the question. Moving along here, we're talking about some legends and NXT, and of course NXT fucking all over the place. NXT, terrible transition. NXT TNA crossover. I don't even know if that's still a thing, but Ariana Grande somewhere, something. The fucking Hardy Boys are in WWE 2K26. You got to wait till like season 2, or is it 2? I think they got bumped up earlier, 2 or 3, but they added like Danhausen and Royce Keys and shit in season 5. 2K kind of fucking up, guys. I bought it. I went out and I got the fucking Monday Night War edition. And listen, the fucking premium pass and the ringside pass are whack. All the other stuff people are complaining about, like, oh, it's kind of buggy. Rightfully so. Video games shouldn't be buggy by the time they come out. That's why GTA fucking rules, because they take their time. I'm telling you right fucking now, we shouldn't have even ever have seen a trailer. It's just someone was leaking stuff from GTA. That shit is not coming out next year. When did they say? 27 or whatever? They're going to bump it back again. I fucking am willing to bet, because I don't think we would have even seen a trailer yet if someone wasn't leaking shit. They just did that to calm everyone down, because they were like, what? There's fucking... they can't release it. What's taking so long? And it's just because like you want to release a completed game that's good. And now people don't fucking do that anymore. They release broken shit, and then they look at social media for fan feedback, and then they fucking tweak it after and patch it and update it. It's like, just how about 2K26 How about every 3 years, a new WWE game comes out, but every year you do the 2K26 update, where it's like a big overhaul, where you do a big patch and you add wrestlers. You can remove some if you want, but you own the old wrestlers' likenesses, so just keep them in. And then you just add a bunch of shit, add some DLCs. You roll it out for like $50 and then $80 if you want all the shit, or even that would be more. It's like buying a game, but it's like a big digital add-on. I think you could, or maybe you do it like 40 to 60 for like the premium. You want to call it the whatever fucking Monday Night War edition. That's how you should do it. All these sports games, like everybody every year is just paying for fucking roster updates. And then for them to put Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hogan, he's been in every fucking game for the last decade. And he's locked behind a thing that I got to play the game for a month to play as him. Like, I get why fans are frustrated with it for sure. I like the gameplay. Everything's good. I don't find it too hard. People are crying about showcase mode. It's like, just turn it on easy or whatever. Like, it's not that fucking hard. Maybe I'm just good at the game. I don't fucking know. But I'm a sucker. I'm going to buy every fucking wrestling game every year since I was a kid. That's the one game I'll buy every year. Otherwise, I don't buy any fucking games. They go on Game Pass, then I'll play them. But yeah, the Hardys are in it, so that's a massive W because everyone was tripping out, even myself. I was like, how the fuck do you have the Hardys on TV at SummerSlam? It's the Attitude Era edition, and you don't have the Hardy Boys in the game. I just thought that was cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am very excited to announce that the GOATs, Matt and Jeff, the Hardys, the Hardy Boys, are officially in WWE's 2K26.
We are joining the roster of Season 4 with the ringside pass coming in July. Play this game without fear.
Because fear is only a 4-letter word.
Yeah, that rules.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Man, and like when games back in the day would come out, they were either good and complete, or they came out and you heard the stories about how the devs didn't have time and this and that, or some shit was bugged or glitched. And then, yes, they would send out fixed copies. Like, let's say there was a controversial line of dialogue or something. And then they'd quickly, we got to edit this out. Then all the new copies released. And then it made it fun to be like, dude, this is a broken game. Like, we look back on it 10 years later. Yo, do you guys remember that broken ass Superman game for N64 or whatever the fuck? We remember it. We're like, dude, I had a copy of it with the original text and shit. Now it's just, dude, everything's digital and fucking totally lame. And they put out just broken ass games. And then we got to fucking do the bug fixing. Like, we're pointing the shit out online. What's the status all day? Just tweets out all the bugs. And then the 2K people are looking at his Twitter, fucking fixing the shit he's saying. Cause they've done it. They've done it last year. Even they patched the shit he's talking about on his Twitter. He doesn't even get invited to fucking Creator Fest and shit like that. Cause he won't just fucking lick the balls. So it's shitty, and it's little things too. Sorry, and then we'll get off the 2K topic. I don't know if we have a lot of gamers out there, but it's like, okay, Bull Nakano was added to the game last year, right? Whoever worked on the game last year made a new Tron for her and all of this unique shit, right? Made the Tron, sized it up, banners, all this stuff. And then this year, whoever's working on the game, and if it's the same people, then fuck, it's even 10 times worse than I could have imagined. The game, it's about to come out, and then people notice and they have to point out to the devs, like, hey, Bull Nakano has a Tron. Like, they just give her some generic Legends Tron with her name and text on this year's game. And people are like, hey, you guys made her a Tron last year. Like, why don't you just use it? Oh, fuck, we'll fix that. They're responding to fans online. Why is that something that has to be fixed? How the fuck did nobody just go over the whole last roster? And their job is port every fucking thing, meaningful thing, music, Tron, every fucking thing. Or I don't know if that's quote unquote porting it over, right? It's not like you're taking a fucking Nintendo game and porting it to a fucking Game Boy or whatever. You guys get it. Get what I'm saying? Like, hey, because they ditched the last gen consoles too. I get that. But does that mean you don't have those video graphics? Someone worked hard on those last year, and then you just dismiss them this year because why? Because people aren't just looking over the roster. And then they have like renders for characters that are like the wrong year and shit. I don't know, man. It just seems like They just quickly are rushing out another wrestling game. I don't want that. Anyways, but I bought it. I'm a consumer slop. No, it's the one game. I'm no matter what, I'm going to buy whatever UFC game there is, but they don't come out every year. They wait like 5 fucking years, 4 years, 3 years to put out a new UFC. And then they just update the roster as they go over the course of years. That's how it should be. Okay? So UFC, I'll buy that. Like whenever there's an MMA game, I'm going to buy that, and I'm going to buy fucking pro wrestling. Or WWE at least. I didn't buy AEW Fight Forever. I ain't fucking with that shit, but it just looked shitty, you know? If I wanted to play an emulator, I'll download that new. Do you want to know what game is crushing it right now? The ECW Born to be Wired, which is like an emulated ROM hack, a patched. You like patch it yourself. It's a version of No Mercy, but they like added moves, and it's just the ECW roster, and there's fucking. They added all of these things that aren't No Mercy. I've been watching a couple videos on that, and that looks phenomenal. So if I wanted like an old Aki game, I'll just play one of these dope fan fucking ROM hack versions that, you know, they do a better job than Kenny Omega and AEW did with their bullshit. Anyways, we spent a lot of time on video games. Jelly Roll is returning to WWE next week on SmackDown to see Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes, to see them both. Maybe someone heel turns on Jelly Roll. Maybe Jelly Roll's the special times keeper. Maybe he's the guest ref for their match. Who knows? You know, he's going to want to be involved in WrestleMania in some capacity. He just finished up with Star Search and that. So
I don't know.
But yeah, I'm not clamoring to see Jelly Roll, but hey, it is what it is. In unfortunate news, to go to AAA, according to several media outlets in Mexico, Conan is currently hospitalized in San Diego, and he underwent leg amputation surgery. So in honor of Conan, we hit both drops.
Conan!
And I heard he was and is in good spirits overall with all things considered. Okay. So hopefully that continues, and just prayers for him. Absolutely. So in less tragic news, maybe tragic for Logan Paul, but Logan Paul and Le'Veon Bell. So again, I didn't want to bookmark the whole back and forth and all this shit, but Logan Paul was like, I'll fight any football player for $1 million. Le'Veon Bell, I hope I'm saying it right. Did they just Le'Veon Bell? Okay, he fucking was like, and he can box. He's like, I'll fucking fight you. And then Logan Paul's like, nah, man, it's too soon. I have to train and all this shit. And then Bell was like, dude, you said anybody. Like, you were calling everyone out for $1 million. Now you're talking you don't want to fucking do it. And Logan was ducking. He was entertaining some other football players. And there were a few people calling him out. And then basically Bell talked enough shit to where Logan Paul agreed to it. And he's like, dude, you don't get it. Like, Logan Paul's like, you don't get it. I'm in WWE. That means I'd have to take time off and properly train. And he was like, look, dude, you were the one talking shit. We can do it right now. Like, neither of us got time to properly train. You know, Bell was like, dude, you were the one saying, let's fucking do it for $1 million. You're the one calling out Tom Brady, who's 50 and doesn't box. So, like, what are we doing now? And, yeah, Logan Paul got absolutely fucking mogged into doing this fight. And so they agreed to the terms on a boxing match: 10-ounce gloves, no headgear, 3-minute rounds until someone quits. Now that's where WWE steps in and goes, nah, you're not doing this. You got to do it after WrestleMania. But Logan Paul was saying some shit like, let's do it this weekend and shit, bro. Dude, I had no idea we could do it this weekend, bro. And so here's a clip of here's a clip of Bell actually boxing here as well.
It was actually very evenly matched.
Fought Adrian Peterson.
Not only in its
Down goes Peterson! A big right hand from Le'Veon Bell!
overhand right that I was just asking. Look, and he's
my God, this one's
That's
over.
it.
And let me
He's like, I'm good. No, son, this ain't football. You don't fucking get up after that, dude. You're done. Oh, shit. So we look at a tape. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape where everything's virtually identical. No. Age 30 for who was I calling him Jake Paul this whole time? Fuck around. Logan Paul. And then Bell is 34. Height 6'2 for Paul, 6'1 for Bell. Virtually identical. Weight is virtually identical. The reach is identical. So it's the perfect matchup. No one has to cut weight or do anything crazy. But I just don't know if WWE will let him go in there and do a fight where you just go till someone quits. That's where someone gets real bad brain damage or someone, something bad happens. You get a bad injury. I just don't think that's MMA abandoned that a long time ago. You go until someone quits. Okay, so that means if the ref thinks you're getting blapped out too hard, he can't wave it off. People die from that. You stupid fucking idiots. So both of these guys, be smart and
stupid idiot.
I don't think anywhere would sanction just a fight till the death base until someone quits. So does that mean if you get dropped 5 times and you just keep getting up, you could die from that? So maybe don't agree to that. But it'd be cool to see them fight on that Netflix card, which apparently Francis Ngannou, who was released from PFL after one fight for the PFL, they gave him millions. And he's going to fight on that Netflix Ronda Rousey, Gina Carano card. So that's what I'm talking about. They're beefing that thing up. Who knows? Maybe these two could scrap on there. But WWE isn't going to want Logan Paul getting starched before WrestleMania. And after, it's not good either, because then you have Raw and SmackDown and shit to do, bud. So, again, that, ladies and gentlemen, was WWF News to start the show. This interim GM guy is way better than Ava. Yeah, Robert Stone. Finally making a decision on the women's belt slap fight, not to be confused with Power Slap, has I Quit matches that go 10 plus rounds. That is fucked up, man. Logan's 6'2". He is. OTM is good. They had really good match versus the Creeds on main event. Yeah, I mean, they've been around. There was a time I thought they got cut, but people were like, no, they both got injured. But it was around the time people got cut. So I was always under the impression they got brought back. So I was like, well, there you go. But no, they were just hurt. And yeah, they are good. You're absolutely right about that. Lucien Price looks like he eat all meat raw. A pizza with every known animal known to man as a topping. Okay, so this PLE, a lot of hardcore carnage going on at the start of it, right? But it's been pretty goddamn good. The crowd is super into it. They're even all on their on the edge of their seat for this here. And Tatum Paxley got her fucking moment. How crazy is this too? Jasmine Nix is in 2K26, but what's her name? Lainey Reed? She's not in it. Which is wild. They didn't just like last minute, oh, we got to switch that. And JC Jane out here cutting a promo. How are you guys enjoying it, this PLE so far? Let me check in with YouTube actually on the Clips channel to see what you guys voted in the poll before. We're going to get into some AEW news, some other stuff. You guys already know. So I put a poll in the chat saying, are you upset that Cody Rhodes won the WWE Championship again? 66% said no, and 34% did say yes. So see, it's not entirely artificial, but is this asshole buying hundreds of thousands of dislikes? I mean, it appears that way. Because I don't think the backlash is that strong, man. It's weird how people defended Rhodes and then they're like hating on him so much. It's almost like bot activity both times or some shit. But yeah, I will end that poll. So what is JC Jane? Is she just here to talk shit, or is she going to announce something big, I wonder? And apparently a huge fight for UFC. The White House card fell through as well. Like a huge fight. And they were only planning on doing like 5 fights at the White House or whatever. Or at least for the main card. Or did they mean total? Ooh, if they meant total by that too, that's crazy. Yeah, these girls, this could be a main roster act like tomorrow, and it would work. And that's why I feel as though it could hurt the ratings a bit for NXT. They're at a bit of a disadvantage. You got to take people like this and move them up. Well, fuck, I want to tune in NXT to see JC Jane cutting and strutting. Okay. Who's interrupting her? Zarya. Yeah, you knew it. You had to know it was coming. Once she turned on Soul, you had to know she was coming. Zarya's gonna be it's gonna be like her and Soul feuding over that NXT title. And then JC can finally move up to the main roster type shit. Heading after like WrestleMania and the new era. The NXT after Stand and Deliver. Okay, let's get into should we get into some news, or what are we doing here? Hope so. Zarya greater than Soul. Ooh, yeah, that'll fucking trigger some people, dude. Over 200 watching, guys. Hit like, hit retweet, hit heart on Twitter, all that good shit. Let's get into some more news. Let me see what we're gonna get into next. We'll circle around to the AEW news, and let's go back to what normally the intro of the show is, because we don't have a lot of it. And let's head into, everybody hydrate. Actually, I'm going to drink some coffee here. Coffee's dehydrating, but it amps me up. Oh, it's really great. I have 3 cups right now and 2 shots of espresso in each one. Two shots of espresso is not even a lot for some people. There's motherfuckers who do like 4 to 8 and shit like that. I would just have the worst anxiety. You give me 8 shots of espresso, dude. I'm fucking thinking the aliens are coming and shit, I'm fucking chewing my nails off to the bone. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into some miscellaneous news.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
So we have former WWE stars here, folks, and Braun Strowman announces season 2 return of Everything on the Menu. Strowman, also known as Adam Scherr, has announced that the 2nd season of the series Everything on the Menu will premiere in early summer 26 on the USA Network. Strowman stated that the program was the highest rated cable show in the 10 o'clock p.m. hour during the previous year. Pardon me. And so he's crushing it. Continue to do that. leave wrestling behind, you know? I don't want to see. I know I've advocated, you could bring Strowman in, but now that the Wyatt Six and the MFTs, like MFTs are kind of finding new people to fight, Strowman should just stick to doing TV, baby. I'm sure he's making bank knowing that it's the highest rated whatever the fuck, you know? When is the contract up? Did they renegotiate after season 1 or what the fuck? That's good shit. I have to check out that show. I really fucking do. I watched like a few minutes of it, a couple clips, of course, on this show, the trailer, but I haven't like dove in. And I'm a big food show guy. Like I like Bar Rescue. Well, I guess that's not just primarily food, but Bar Rescue's back with some new stuff. So Hell's Kitchen, Gordon Ramsay, dumb. I tried watching his documentary on Netflix, Gordon Ramsay's, but it's like, okay, rich guy starting a fucking another rich restaurant. Everyone's fucking hurting right now. The economy's all over the place for shit right now. You're fucking crying about how stressful it's going to be to open another $1 billion fucking restaurant in a skyscraper. Like, I love you, Gordon, but fuck. I'm going to skim it and see if he yells at any chefs. Anyways, Scarlett Bordeaux won the Queen of the Castle Championship at Romanian Pro Wrestling a few days ago. Her first championship in years. Congrats to the Smoke Show. So Romanian Pro Wrestling, Scarlett Bordeaux goes there and wins a title. Yeah, good for her. And you have Cross as the MLW world champ. They're doing their thing on the indies. And hopefully they continue to thrive. I don't know what else to say. Happy birthday to Joe Exotic, also known as Tiger King, who used to do color commentary for NWA Texoma, and would host, say it one more time, Texoma, and would host events at his infamous zoo. I did not fucking know this, dude. I knew like I watched the Tiger King. I tried to watch the second. Remember when they tried to drop like Tiger King part 2, and it was kind of like an update, and it kind of had to do with more of the surrounding characters and whatnot. I don't know. It was not as good, not nearly. And then the Tiger King story just fucking fell off. But shout out Tiger King, I guess. No, that dude's crazy. He's a crazy asshole. But yeah, he did commentary for NWA. And look, he's there with JJ Alexander. Right? But yeah, and then here's him in a picture with Jinder Mahal before he got all juicy. And I guess happy birthday to him. Didn't he? Yeah, I don't know. He's probably guilty of some shit that, listen, allegedly, right? I don't fucking know. But that was a crazy ass story. And it's crazy how it just died off out of nowhere. It was like the biggest thing ever, and then just nothing, like the Hawk Tuah girl. So Brett Lauderdale posted this warning for indie wrestlers, a new rule for GCW. Unless previously discussed or approved, or you have a valid reason, if you show up less than an hour before doors open, I will remove you from the show. Holy shit, dude. Brett Lauderdale laying down the fucking law. So unless discussed, approved, or you have a valid reason, if you show up less than an hour before doors open, I will remove your ass. So indies, man, they're running a tight ship. Oh, it's a tight ship. The grass isn't always greener, Brian. So, guys, the other live show, what was it, Wednesday, Saturday? I don't fucking know. The last one or the one before. We talked about all of the indie shows surrounding WrestleMania, right? There's like 10 babillion. And Fadeaway Media dropped this clip of Micromania Wrestling. Now, we had talked about how it was called like the Midget Wrestling Federation. What was it? Midget Mania Wrestling. They use the word midget, so don't get mad at me. It's the name of their fed. Okay. But they had like the most shows of any fed surrounding or any indie rather surrounding WrestleMania. They had like the most shows going on. And I made the joke too. I was like, it'd be funny if it was like a shorter show. Get it? But and it was. One of them was like, it was shorter than the ones surround some of the GCW shows and shit. So either way, though, Micromania are doing their thing as well. Okay. We were talking about the micros and minis, and we're talking about WrestleMania. And Fadeaway Media dropped this post. It goes viral. 2.6 million views, 46K likes. I got to like and retweet this fucking freak show right here. But they got this baddie in the ring, a gothic baddie. And if you guys can see this fucking, she's primed up and ready for something. Let's see what's going on at Micromania. Again, we check in with JCW all the time. Let's check in with another indie fed making some noise here in the world of pro wrestling. Talking about the minis. She's about to get spanked. Yeah, spank her. Spank that ass, midget, or you're fine. Dude, and he's got HBKs. The little break kid, the tiny heart kid. Oh my god.
Hell yeah. All right.
Oh man. Crazy. It's going down there. It's a party at Micromania, okay? Take all my money. In fact, I'll throw it in the air from the crowd, from the front row. Okay. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was miscellaneous indie wrestling news, ladies and germs, and it wasn't all bad. It was actually a really good time.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
So these NXT PLEs, man, they invest a lot of time in the backstage stuff too, and like the in-ring, we're gonna cut promos and this and that. And you got to appreciate that. You know, it gives you a taste. Because like WWE can get away with like, we're just gonna have bangers and maybe like one segment. Or like we're gonna have a segment backstage, but it's gonna be selling you Papa John's pizzas. So don't get too excited type shit unless you're hungry. Right? But NXT gives you a taste of like, here's what you can, if you tune into our show, if you like these characters interacting with each other and they might fucking date and fight and love and hate and fuck each other over and blah, 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 blah. If you like all of these things and you like what you're seeing, come check us out. You know, they give you a good balance of that, which I think is a good call from HBK. Again, he doesn't get credit for shit like that. Or I don't know if he came up with it, but anyways, yeah, it's been surprisingly story heavy. What's everyone's thoughts if WWE incorporated this into their show? Are people dragging them? I think it would be awesome. Fuck, they should. If you're talking about what I'm talking about. Are you talking about what I'm talking about? Because if you're talking about what I'm talking about, then I'm talking about they should do it. That's my kind of woman. Yeah, dude, that's wild. I'm going to start watching Micromania. I don't know. When does that shit come on? Is that on YouTube? Is that on Rumble? Maybe do that one on Rumble. I don't know. Definitely not on Twitch. Ladies and germs, we have some TNA news to get into. Just watching this video package here. Yeah, we're gonna get this underground match. I don't know. Again, it's not my favorite match type. It's working against Kalani's strengths, so hopefully she surprises and everybody, hopefully she exceeds our expectations here. She's not one to like go out there and brawl and lay shit in, but she does have tenacity, as noted on this show. I've said like she went from kind of gymnastics routine to just really getting it, and then having good matches to like, okay, she's has some tenacity in there and whatnot with her high flying shit too. Like she makes it look good. It's not just like I'm just doing moves to you, It's like the way she hurls. They just showed a perfect example there with her dive over the top. It's again that she has that controlled chaos, and that comes from, just good body control and being a gymnast. The way she's laying it in this vignette here. Like Kalani's shown that fucking mean streak, that side, right? So an underground match is like, hopefully she exceeds our expectations in this by having like a good brawl, but by all means, Lola Vice should win this by like wheel kick TKO or back fist TKO. She's already won like that, so it's got to be like back fist off of the ring, not through a table, but maybe just like off the ring, bump off the ground. Or can it be finished on the outside? I forget in these underground matches. She's going to TKO her, though. She's 3-0. Unless they go, fuck it, Kalani gets a shock win and is the one to break this undefeated streak. But I just think it's a little obvious, like you go with Lola being the undefeated underground queen. I wonder if we ever get this match on the main roster. I know they sort of did it with Shane McMahon's Raw Underground. Well, not sort of. I guess that's where it came from. No, so they did it. So dummy, yeah, I guess that's not even a question. If they do it on the main roster, does it work? I guess it didn't really. But maybe just the presentation of it, they kind of salvaged that. Anyways, we got TNA news to get into. So let's head over here. Ladies and germs, patreon.com/ProWrestleTimes. And let's get into TNA news. So we talked about it before, again, the last show, but SDL with a $ ho shares her thoughts and responds directly to all of the speculation, to my speculation, listening to PWT confirm, no, but just the online discourse surrounding her fucking injury, right? And why did she walk away? What happened? There's rumors of this. Is that true? She addressed it on TMZ's Inside the Ring. They got the scoop. So let's tap in and hear what SDL had to say.
I'd been pitching storylines and working my way towards my in-ring return with TNA, but then I received a phone call on Monday of this week that basically they never wanted to let me wrestle at TNA again. They just didn't feel comfortable with that. So then I made the decision to leave, and my husband did too, in solidarity.
Wow.
In solid. See, here's the thing, dude. You can't get away. It's old school wrestling. Like, yeah, you leave with your fucking wife or whatever, I guess. Because, like, let's face it, Macho Man and Elizabeth, like, they were a unit together, But like, only in pro wrestling, I swear to God. Where else do you get to just like work with your significant other, and if I get hired, she has to get hired, or vice versa? It's crazy. And it doesn't always necessarily happen that way. Like, for instance, Sean Spears is in NXT. You have the Inspiration or in AEW. But at the same time, it's, promoters have to book around this and consider, like, and it goes back to the beginning of time. Like, your wife's in the territory with you. She valets you, or you meet someone, Nancy Benoit, I guess, was like a valeting and then ends up marrying and things like this. This has happened time and time again. But it's just a matter of like, he walked out in solidarity. Now they're down Mance too because you guys were married and you're going to go work somewhere else. I don't know. And are they in breach of contract or were you just let go? All is clear. Let's find out if she mentions that at all.
I'm going to ask about that. Yeah. What was that contract?
And I'm not saying they will breach a contract, but let's say like they just show up and work somewhere else. Is that a breach of contract? I wonder. Like, are you guys risking all of that? Is that what you're putting on the line and everything? I hope that gets addressed.
Conversation like with Mance, was it immediately like we're both done here?
Yeah, pretty much. Like I had a feeling that this was the way it was going because every time I broached the subject about my in-ring return, I felt like the higher-ups were avoiding the question. And, you know, we were snowballing towards the projected date and I was not getting any answers. So I felt like this was coming. So I reached out actually and was to my boss and was like, look, if there's been a conversation about me not wrestling again, just let me know. And yeah, Carlos called me on Monday and told me, look, you know, we're just not comfortable with you wrestling. And I was like, well, I'm, you know, literally fully cleared. And he said, yep, not into it. And then I asked, do you know what my injury is? And he didn't know. He couldn't tell me what my injury was.
Oh, shit. Carlos Silva fucking up.
Allegedly.
On her side of things, hey, I'm just saying, if what she's saying is true, and he was like, yeah, we're just not interested. Was this his cop-out way of being like, I don't like that you tweeted shit out about. I'm not trying to attribute ulterior motive, but she tweeted shit out like, hey, I don't have a specialist. Can anyone help me? She tagged WWE, AEW, TNA. You guys saw that tweet. Is that them being like, well, fuck it. We don't even want to use her. We're on AMC now. We're paying her well. And did they get increases as well? Like, do all the talent get increases? Who's renegotiated their contracts? Right before the AMC deal. I'm sure some of them asked for some more money. They knew money was coming in. So it's interesting. And if he couldn't even name the injury, but listen, though, it's not on to defend Carlos Silva now, to sweep for him. It's not on him to like know the exact diagnosis or whatever either. So maybe she's doing a bit of a gotcha here. But it's crazy. We're seeing Carlos Silva get called out now, something that hasn't really happened. Interesting.
It's definitely based off personal feelings. I mean, I have not been evaluated by any medical professional on the TNA end.
Damn, so they're not evaluating her. She didn't get an evaluation. Why? You know, what were they avoiding? Did they just not want her and Mance on the roster? And they were like, these are some salaries we could cut after we had to chill out a few more shekels to keep fucking Ziggler around for the next year or whatever. You know what I'm saying, guys? That could totally be it. I'm also just conspiracy theory. Like, I don't know. I'm just guessing here because why would he not know shit and just be like, oh yeah, we don't want you to wrestle again? Or did they feel slighted by the tweets and stuff like that? Not that she was shitting on them, but she was tagging WWE and AEW and shit, got linked up with WWE's guy. Were they kind of gatekeeping whatever health issue was going on? Were they just like, here's some salaries, her salary we could get rid of. We don't really have anything for them on TV. People were kind of clowning. I'm going to be honest too. People were clowning Mance a little bit last time he was on TV. People were saying it was shitty about the TNA show, and not to shit on him. Like I like him, but I like him better when he wasn't like painting his face and being all like Crazy Steve. He just reminds me of like Crazy Steve. You guys remember Crazy Steve in TNA? He was in Decay with like Abyss and Rosemary and shit. We're going to talk about Rosemary in a second. But she did have like a major fucking injury. And so at first I gave TNA the benefit of the doubt. But if the truth is that they didn't even really evaluate her and she had to go to other doctors to hurry up the process and they were kind of willy-nilly with her, well, hey, man, Tony McCann did that to Punk and has done that to people allegedly as well, and people give him shit for it. Going to keep the same energy here, too. And it's just interesting to hear Carlos Silva being finally called out by someone. Not that I'm like, please get called out, but it's like everyone's been called out but him, and we are trying to push this agenda that he's on the level of Tony Khan. And You know, we want TNA. We're still on the TNA is going to start challenging AEW Dynamite eventually. And it might take a year. You know, it might take AEW going to fucking Amazon, but it's going to happen one way or another. So it's interesting to hear Carlos Silva get called out, dude, for not evaluating people.
I have a chiropractor at the shows, and I think one other doctor who I've barely spoken with. So they haven't evaluated, you know, my medical history. They haven't contacted my surgeon. They haven't looked at any of my, you know, medical stuff. It's just they made a personal decision, and yeah, that's where we're at now.
Wow.
And
so here's my whole thing too, that I'm going to shit on TNA a little bit for. Are you guys ready? Because the best guy's Tony Khan. I'm now a sicko. No, but listen, here's the thing with Carlos Silva and them. Why didn't they call her and tell her that right away, as opposed to after kind of like the tweets come out and she needs help with looking at, she was publicly like, hey, is someone I need help with this next stuff. And then wrestlers had to reach out and go, hit me up, girl. So why did they inform her of this after? Wouldn't they have known before? Like, why didn't they tell her, look, we'll release you, we'll pay you out your contract or whatever. Oh my God, this is a travesty. We just don't feel right with it. You are cleared to wrestle. Okay, well, we just don't feel comfortable with it. You think that would have been like something they reached out about before? But no, they didn't. They just fucking waited until she was like getting cleared independently by WWE doctors, and wrestlers had to get them in touch. So you know that the gossip, like, you know, everybody talks and it gets back to TNA, and they're felt slighted by that maybe, or offended. Because if she could never wrestle again, and that was what you guys decided on, then why would that come after the fact that she was cleared by like WWE's doctors? And those are the doctors. And here's the thing where I'm going to give her some benefit of the doubt here too. I'm going back and forth here. Okay. But I'm kind of weighing on her side a bit. And I'm going to tell you why. Because Edge and Danielson were told and Paige were told by WWE doctors, you ain't going to wrestle again. AEW doctors will clear them. Though all of those people were essentially cleared, but WWE's doctors, even though they were precautious and said you're never wrestling again, at the same time WWE was willing to clear Danielson and Edge. We saw it play out before our eyes. They were banged up enough to where they're like, listen, you don't need to do this. You've made so much money in your fucking career. Yes, you can wrestle for us, but like, we don't need you to wrestle for us, so you're fucking retired here. But then AEW comes along, and then it's like, okay, you guys can fucking wrestle for us. Like, you can do this. You just have to be a little more precautious. Please don't fuck yourself up. We're not going to allow you to do some things, even though, hey, Edge was doing destroyers and Danielson was doing everything. So they loosened up a bit on that. Even Paige, I think they would clear her now. WWE doctors. They're a little more lenient, but they're still that precautious. She went and saw their doctors, and they weren't like, no, you can't ever wrestle. If WWE doctors told her you can't wrestle, then okay, TNA doesn't look stupid in any way by going like, no, we don't want you to ever wrestle again. But it's the fact that like she never got seen by any other people. And then she went and got WWE doctors who cleared her. And then TNA is just like, no, we don't want anything to do with you. I don't know. It just seems like it's not as severe as an Edge or a Danielson, because a WWE doctor would be like, no, you can't fucking wrestle, would be their first instinct. Or they'd be like, yeah, I mean, you can wrestle again. You don't work for us type shit. But that doctor, obviously she saw that doctor independently. She didn't see them as like a, hey, she's backstage at SmackDown, right? It's like an independent fucking thing. She probably went out of her own pocket. Well, actually, she did. So let's read this quote. She went out of her own pocket to seek this medical treatment. And so that's kind of cooked too. And so Steph DeLander says she paid for both of her neck surgeries. No, but that's part of being an independent contractor as well. And she notes that TNA does not have a setup for a proper medical team. So Steph had this to say. I've paid for both of my surgeries. I paid for PT for both of them. My insurance maxed out. So I currently have a $9,000 Advent health bill sitting there that I'm going to get at some point. It was 100% covered on my end. I was not on a salary. I was not getting paid every week. If you're not there, if you're not on the road, if you're not working, if you don't get paid, or you don't get paid. So financially, it was a very big hit as well. They don't have a budget set aside for injuries and a proper medical team like at WWE or AEW. There's a fully staffed medical team. They have doctors, they have PTs, they have all sorts of people whose job it is to take care of the wrestlers when they get injured, to rehab them back to full health. And again, this was on Inside the Rope, TMZ. Unfortunately, TNA does not have a setup like that whatsoever. Majority of my communication about my injury was through their chiropractor, who I spent 18 months trying to get a return to the ring protocol out of. And here's the thing, guys. I love the chiropractor, okay? I love the chiropractor. I go, maybe twice a year, I'll go and just get tuned up a little bit. I used to have to go way more years ago from a back injury. But a chiropractor, there's a lot of people who would call them frauds, and there's a lot of people who would say a chiropractor shouldn't be the one, like that shouldn't be all you have dealing with neck injuries and shit like this. You know what I mean? Maybe for relief and therapy, like rehab and stuff like that, sure. But as far as when it comes to pro wrestling, like it's a big deal, man. It's a big deal. You could die from a scoop slam. It doesn't happen all the time. It's like driving a car, dude. It could fucking happen. God forbid, right? You can die coming to the ring in pro wrestling. It's happened. You can die in your entrance. Okay? So people have literally been exploded, dry iced, lit on fire, and dropped from the fucking ceiling during their entrance. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like you can die just entering the ring in pro wrestling. So yeah, when you're operating, you're on a TV scale. Like if it was a Hollywood fucking movie or a TV show and you had actors doing stunts and shit, like there would be more, not even actors, just stuntmen doing their own stunts. There would be more medical staff on hand. There wouldn't just be a chiropractor there to check your fucking, you know what I mean? So it's crazy that in pro wrestling, they just did a $30 million deal with AMC or whatever. There's not a fucking medical staff on hand. I think that's pretty wild. And there probably is. Like Carlos Silva would be like, well, shut the fuck up. There is one. We have a medical staff, whatever. But the depth of it matters as well. Like how deep is it? Or is it just like, we're going to call, this is how it works at all indies. Well, you're not, I don't think you're an indie, you're TNA, right? And they do have billionaire backing. So I get you want to make money, but again, at what expense? So, or what cost rather. So where was I? Doesn't matter. They're not really set up for injuries, especially for spinal injuries is what she finishes with. And that's what I'm saying too. Neck and spinal shit is really serious. And it's really serious in pro wrestling. And it's like the thing you have to be most ready for, because let's say you tweak an ankle or break a leg or a finger or something, or even get rocked. Let's say you get rocked out unconscious a little bit. You come to, oh, fuck. That sucks. That's fucking brutal. A lot of times when it happens too, God forbid you don't, and that could have lasting effects, but it's everyone's fucking taking a shot in the jaw. You know what I'm saying, dude? Like you get rocked, you get stunned in wrestling. You got to accept that that's going to happen a bit. And like, oh, I tweak my knee, I break my arm, I pop my bicep. Okay. Those things fucking happen in wrestling. The real risk when you go out there is fucking landing on your neck and dying or being paralyzed. Like that's the real risk that everybody accepts going into pro wrestling, right? So that's what you need to be like ultra aware of more than anything. Like you dislocate a shoulder, someone backstage can pop that shit in. You can go old school on that one. And they still have the best medical staff in the world to deal with that. And I'm not saying you got to have WWE level shit, but I just think maybe there's a point of contention where she kind of tweeted shit out and then she went to a WWE doctor and then they're probably like, oh, she wants us to reimburse this and shit too. We don't even really want to have her. Because what were they really doing with her on the roster and stuff? And I like STL, but I don't know, man. I think they're kind of cruising without her and they're doing okay, right? Maybe she could be on their show and help blow up the ratings, but I think they're kind of doing all right with everything they're doing, and there might not be a place for her either, and they're looking at that, and they're weighing everything, and this is sort of a cop-out for them a little bit. And it's unfortunate for her, and it's unfortunate that wrestlers won't unionize and shit. As fans, if they unionize, I don't think it really affects us, other than it might make pro wrestling not as good. Like, will wrestlers be as hungry to really blow up? And do you get guys who are like, no, if we do this, we'll make the most money and we'll do this, and if we tell this great story, we'll have the next superstar on our hands? Then it becomes like, okay, we'll just have leagues, everyone kind of gets paid the same, they're all taken care of, and then they all get equal bonuses based on if the company's doing good. I mean, that sounds great for the lower guys. It doesn't, and like the fans and shit were like, whatever. But then does that make wrestling and artists, because there is a level of artistry and athleticism and competition that goes along with sports entertainment, does it make them as hungry to compete to be the next Randy Orton or the next John Cena, or are they just like, whatever, I'll just get a comfy job, I'll be mid-lower? Do we just get more guys who are like going AEW, whatever, I'm getting paid, I got my health, I got my dental? I think it'll just produce more people in wrestling like that. Honestly, I do personally. And fucking Roman Reigns and them will tell you that unionizing, every top guy will tell you that that's not the way to go either, because they benefit from it. And that's what the lower guys will say as well. Yes, some of them want unionization and all of this, but they all know in the back of their minds, if they make it and they're the guy one day, then you don't want to be unionized and shit. You know, you want to make the absolute most compared to everyone else, because you're the most, you get thanked for the house. If you're the guy getting thanked for the house, you don't want to fucking communism, socialist that shit and split it up with everybody. You know, you don't want to do that, dude. So moving along here. And speaking of contracts and whatnot, so Rosemary has re-signed with TNA, and there's Carlos Silva, which was a great move. Rosemary's a TNA for lifer. Nothing wrong with that. And she appeared in NXT, I think, once. And so Rosemary cuts this promo or gets this vignette done for her, and people are like, who the fuck is this weirdo in the corner? And so let's take a look.
Silly little humans. Tricks are for demons. Oh, what? We suppose you've got something to complain about, do you? That went perfectly. Look, Project Lazarus has been approved, and Pride has been checked off the list. Once and down.
Rosemary appeared a few times. Yeah, thank you guys.
6 to go.
And that rules. Shout out Rosemary from Winnipeg, bud. From Winnipeg there, bud.
Now, granted, the next one will be a bit of a gamble. But we've got a few ideas.
So yeah, she's doing her spooky girl shit. There's some creeper. They're on some Wyatt Six shit. Who fucking knows with that? But speaking of what was going on the show itself, Lillian Garcia was in the house.
So joined here at ringside by Lillian Garcia, legendary WWE ring announcer.
See, this is how you do it. You show the celebrities in the house with all the people behind them. What the fuck? How did they fuck this up on the first show? All good. They've recovered. We're not dwelling on that.
You're a pleasure to have here with us at ringside tonight.
Like, see, even if the building ain't full, all the people are going crazy behind Lillian. That rules.
For TNA Thursday Night Impact. So join in.
So Lillian was there, and then fucking Mama June. So if I'm not mistaken, Mama June is Honey Boo Boo's Mom,
Sometimes
am
in
I
life
not
you gotta be a
mistaken?
hoe.
And she got her own reality show now. So shout out Honey Boo Boo and Mama June, I guess. And TNA for the crossover.
And look, right here tonight, live in Atlanta, it's the cast of Mama June herself there on the right, out here enjoying all that toast.
It's like a D-list celebrity. I don't know. I'm not going to put this over for 1 second.
Non-stop action.
And we're also joining.
And then, yes, Lillian was there as well. So that's awesome. But another person who is at TNA and that I'm hoping TNA signs, and I think he should go to TNA. He needs to stay the fuck away from AEW. He needs to start in TNA and then work his way up through NXT and just take their time with this guy. Pull the Leon Slater as Leon Slater slowly becomes an NXT guy. You do the same thing with Ricky Sosa in a way. Obviously, you think of different ways of doing it, but as far as like how to get him over, because he is, well, I'm not even telling you guys, but Bang Bang, Sosa, Ricky Sosa was on TNA Explosion, okay? And if you're watching UFC, Cody Garbrandt just got his fucking nuts exploded with a nut kick as Ricky Saints makes his entrance here at Vengeance Day. But Sosa made his entrance, and he has an entrance, okay, already. And he can work, too. The kid can work. Now, TNA and NXT are the way to go for this guy, okay? They're going to develop him and produce him into a fucking star. I think he owns his theme song, which is a bonus. He's on that Joe Hendry shit as Joe Hendry makes his entrance. This guy's got an entrance. He's got a song that people are fucking with. Okay? And it's awesome to see this quick rise. I don't think they might be pushing him quick. Like it might be quick to where TNA's scooping him and putting him on Explosion, and the IWC might be pushing this guy a little quick. But he isn't the shits in the ring. He's obviously a little green. He's a young guy. But this entrance, once you have that, that's like a shoe in, that's a foot in the door automatically, almost in any fucking Fed. People are just going to want to invest in this. The work will come, especially at the age he's at. So if they develop him properly, any Fed, if TNA sinks their teeth in and they go, no, we're keeping him away from WWE, he could be their next big star. He could. Right? He's got to grow into his grown man body and shit yet, too. But anyways, let's just play this entrance. Here's fan footage. And Sosa, bang, bang. Like, is that his Tron? How did they have this dope Tron for him made too? Did TNA make that? WTNA if they did, or is that his Tron already? Does he provide that part too? I'm curious because, man, we're in the day and age where you can do that shit. You can hire an independent editor to make you a dope ass vignette. People in AEW do it all the time. I forget her name. I should plug her on Twitter. I talk about her shit all the time that she did with Julia Hart, and she fucking I forget her name, but she's on Twitter, and she's the one who does all these independent vignettes that you look at on AEW and go, oh, that's great. And then they never follow up on them. Why? Because the wrestlers got to go out of pocket and go get them, and Tone doesn't fucking reimburse for that shit. TNA, I don't know. I'm not saying Sosa did that with his Tron, but like, hell yeah, look at how the Tron is already slapping. This fucking stage looks awesome too. The building's not packed, but it is Explosion, right? It's not the main show. Getting an ovation. See, the kid's got size. He's a tall kid. Bang. Sosa. See, like, listen, it's Explosion. It's not packed, but everyone there already knows this guy's shit. How? You know, from the IWC. So it was enough. He's gotten enough hype now to where he's on the radar. You can't tell me this won't get over as fuck with the NXT universe. If it's over with TNA fans, come on. The NXT universe pops when TNA guys and AEW guys come over and shit. They'll go nuts for this kid. He's got size as well. He's a tall kid. He's about to grow into his grown man body over the next how many years as well, and he's going to be more jacked up. You just got to refine the work and the promo. And he's got this fucking banging entrance built in. It's amazing, okay? And for people who hate Yeaton, I'm sorry to tell you. No, but if this guy can really work his ass off, then there you go. Right? You can't even get mad at it. Because if he can wrestle, because the main criticism of Uso's like, he's just an entrance. So all Sosa's got to do is prove all those motherfuckers wrong that he's not just an entrance. A lot of people are saying he's not just an entrance already as is. Yeah, they're going to go nuts with that. WWE will one day. Shout out Ricky Sosa. Ricky Smokes, get ready to fucking change your name, bud. And yeah, that, ladies and gentlemen, was TNA news and me glazing Sosa. And I just get excited about prospects, man. There's just something about it. You guys know how hype I am on Oba and fucking Trick and all these guys. And I just get hype for Sosa, dude. I think if you can do something like, I'm always rooting for guys that when people go, oh, they can't work and shit, and they're just like a fucking entrance or a gimmick or whatever. Yeah, dude, look at Undertaker. Like, he can work. He learned how to work, and you always kind of fucking knew he came up old school, but he's like the most gimmicky gimmick ever. He's a fucking zombie that I'm supposed to believe has been buried alive and come back to life and fucking multiple times and resurrected from the dead and all of these fucking things. And he's like the top guy, and no one does gimmicks anymore. It's always, everyone's gimmick is just like, I wrestle. I can wrestle good. So I'm all about these guys who have entrances and larger than life personas and fucking, yeah, hopefully I can see the NXT universe going crazy with that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was TNA news. So we're in the main event of this shit right here. And speaking of the NXT universe going nuts, dude, they were going crazy for both of these guys. Two likable motherfuckers right here. So Joe Hendry's shoulder getting thrown into the fucking stairs, into the ring now. Cover. Kick out. After this match, yeah, I'll put in a what did you guys grade this poll in the chat. Shout out everybody tuning in tonight. Round of applause for you all. I appreciate it. It's Saturday night, and I like the way you move. So a nice little leg sweep there from Saints. And the crowd's been into this. Crowd's been hot for this Vengeance show the whole way through. And they went nuts for Paxley. They were going nuts for Hendry. All the hardcore shit was crazy. It wasn't like overdone, but it was a lot of hardcoreness at the beginning of the show, which is fine. And then the underground match, so a lot of gimmickness. But yeah, by the way, I want to put over Kalani Jordan, how she sold the getting starched. And remember when I think it was it WWE or was it TNA where a while ago, some months ago, and we covered it on the show, there was some new rules came out and it was like no pretending to be like really starched and knocked out or like unconscious or whatever. You guys remember that? That might have been after that Tessa Blanchard match in TNA. It may have been WWE though. But yeah, you do it every now and then. You know, if someone really sells getting starched like that, you know, Maxine Dupree did it on Raw kind of, but it was almost like a death blow. She was laying there like she was dead, not like, oh, I got caught and fucking Kalani just sold it really well. The whole, like, her arms are stiff, the way she just hit the mat. It was really well done. And she did fine. I'm not going to say exceeded expectations, but it was just Lola Vice's match. Like, she just makes those matches look so good. She's real. That's why she'll really fuck you up. And, yeah, the way she fucking leapt in and just started pounding on Kalani was fucking nuts. 4-0 in underground matches, you know? I'm the king of the underground. I liked it. It's not my favorite. I'm one of these dudes. It's just because I'm an MMA fan. So it's like, just do MMA then. If you're going to work the fucking shoot or whatever, just do a shoot. Or, you know, or pro wrestle. It's like Brock and Cain Velasquez. It was like, what are you guys doing, man? Just fucking either pro wrestle or just shoot. You know, we saw what happens when Cain fights Brock, buddy. We know what happens here. So, but they were trying to make it like, oh, Brock got his MMA win back over Cain, and then we'll do the big rematch. But then, of course, what happened with Cain, and Cain's a free man now, by the way. Which, thank fucking God, dude. He got locked up for 3 years for what? Shooting at a pedo, like in Minecraft, allegedly. I'm not even a real person, right? Like, what the fuck? How about you fucking find that P3DO, that PDF file, and get him the fuck off the streets, dude? What are you talking about? Fucking crazy. Cain goes to jail, protecting his goddamn kid. You know, like, what a fucking travesty. Yeah, I don't think I have to, allegedly. I don't think I have to, but I just don't want to, like, fucking, it's behind him, right? He's putting it behind him, and we don't need to fucking put it out there, right? I'm sure he's doing good now, but it's just like, Jesus. Fuck is wrong with people, you know, in society? It's like, to imprison the man. And then everybody who knows him too is like, well, he's just like the fucking nicest, quietest, humblest guy. He's like the chillest guy in the gym. Missed prime years of his career as well, where he could have probably made the most money of his career in a bunch of fights. There was a bunch of fights there for him at heavyweight that he could have fucking had, where he just missed out on so much money and shit. And in WWE, fuck even MMA. Let's say he just went to WWE. You mean to tell me with AAA and all that, he couldn't have had some, holy fuck, man, would Cain be so over in AAA? Just had all that money and time taken from him, dude. That sucks so bad. Just for protecting his kid. And other kids, you know? Sick. Anyways, I'm in on... Not going to get all triggered here. I'm fucking watching this match. One-arm bomb. The Tahana bomb from fucking Joe Hendry. Kick out by Saints. Trading blows now. Europeans, the European uppercuts. There you go. Air raid crash or whatever the fuck. Cover, kick out. I want to get into some AEW news chat, but we're going to check out this main event, the Crippler Crossface. Rolls over into like a fucking front face lock here. Now guillotine. And Ricky Saints with the fucking jiu-jitsu tonight. Oh, Joe Hogan. Powering up, just powers up. Dude, Hendry's got that sneaky strength. Like, he just gets motherfuckers up for shit with relative ease. He's somewhat of a freak because didn't he enter like a fucking wrestling competition or like the worlds he represented? He just like crept in with no background, no prior experience, and just fucking did really well and stuff. Oh shit, and Saints is going off, dude. Lands on his feet. Death Valley. Oh no, that was just a straight up attitude adjustment. Yeah, so in UFC's just doing like the pre-main card video packages and everything. So just expect the timing of this to be flawless, where the main event ends and then where the first fight actually fucking begins here for UFC. And if you guys are MMA fans, this fucking Oliveira Holloway fight, god damn. You want to talk about guillotines and fucking god damn, this is going to be a good fight. This is where UFC can get away with cards like this. This is where UFC can get away with the fucking, we don't have to really do too much to get you hyped for this one, you know? Damn, Saints and Hendry too. Flying knee. They just have real good chemistry. Arm wrench DDT. Kick out. See, Ethan Page crept his little greasy ass out here. You knew. Actually, no, wait. I love him. I forgot he was Canadian for a second because he didn't have the strap with the maple leaf on it, buddy. No, you knew Ethan Page was going to be out here in some capacity, creeping around. Hendry roll up. Oh. Oh, huge spear. Okay, what is Page doing? So he threw the belt too far? Why would he throw it that far? It's craziness. Tornado DDT. Wow. Oh, okay. 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 Damn, I thought that was the finish for sure. So Hendry's got to win this now. And he's just up too. Milk it a bit, but they're rushing to get, I'm telling you right now, the ref's like, oh, we got to go to the fucking, because like the first UFC fight's going to start. Like usually they're done as this shit is going on. Or like the main card at least, right? I believe. All of the, oh, what the fuck? Okay, what's with like baby faces kicking dicks and stuff? So what's with like, I don't know if I like the whole every baby face is going to cheat. Well, they cheated first, so I just cheated. I still kicked him in the balls. Like you didn't even have to do that. Like they didn't necessarily have to do that. And the fans don't give a fuck. It doesn't ruin him unless he keeps doing it, and maybe they're just trying to tease. Hendry has a mean side that could come out too eventually. Who fucking knows? But a low blow like that, you know, we see Rhodes doing shit like that. Maybe there's people who just watch NXT and they're like, it's new to me, damn it. Damn. And is anyone watching Collision tonight? Was that on? Is it on? So Saints low blowed him and then he low blowed him back. I mean, I guess that's like, oh, that's your comeuppance. But it just seems like anti-heroic a little bit. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. Joe Hendry defends. Paige and Saints could totally come up and be heel Rhodes's minions in his version of Legacy or whatever. Although, like, Saints and Paige are a little bit older than, let's say, Ted DiBiase Jr. or fucking Rhodes was at that time. It would totally work. Now, do they need it? Like, does Paige need anybody to talk for him or to help? I don't know. Being associated with Rhodes wouldn't be a bad thing. Neither for Saints. I don't think either of them like need anyone. They could stand on their own 2 feet, but it could totally work. If he does go full-blown heel and he introduces his own legacy at Mania against Orton and then retains the belt and Orton never gets the 15. Ooh. Then you got me. Then there's some shit. Yeah, that was solid. Chat, I'm going to go over to the YouTube section here, tab over here. And I'm going to ask what you guys graded Vengeance Day. I don't know, man. I would say like a B plus, A minus. I guess what makes the difference there, I'm not even sure. I don't know, but about that range, like an A minus, you know, it didn't like, because to get an A plus, you gotta like, there's got to be a bit of a blow you away fat, like, oh, this crazy fucking thing happened that, whoa, I didn't see that coming, and just all things connected, and it was the fucking craziest thing. Did you see that? You know, to make an overall show really great. I'm not even saying like a surprise, but just like something in a match that was like, holy fucking fuck. Whereas the low blow was kind of like, for me. So, but I think they knocked it out of the park, and that crowd was pretty fucking hot for that whole show. And they do a good job of weaving in the story a little bit. I like that. Maybe not for everyone who tunes into a PLE. Some people are probably like, oh, they could have fucking added in another match or something, whatever. I liked it. I like the Tatum Paxley moment was really good as well. Hendry defending. Page looked kind of dumb because why would he slide the belt that direction that hard too? I just think he kind of, maybe the positioning was off a little bit on that. It was like, how do you even fuck that up? But overall, yeah, that was solid. And the hardcore shit was dope, like early on. And Blake Monroe kind of does thrive in that shit. I know AEW like had her all bloody and broken glass and all this shit. And it was kind of fucking stupid at times. But she does know that is her style. That's up her alley, clearly. So yeah, I'm gonna put a poll. What do you grade it? What do you grade NXT Vengeance Day? And we got AEW news. We're talking about AEW. Let's get into some AEW news and reactions. And A, B, C, or D. You guys vote. Okay. Let's get into this over here. Joe Defendry for 2. Plinian says Joe Defendry. Yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one. He'll probably reign with it for a minute. And again, the age thing, we just got to get over that with NXT. There's got to be vets there who are like holding it down and working with fucking younger guys. And Hendry, I'm just impressed by his fucking power, dude. He actually just eases people up. And a dude like Ricky Saints, it's not, Ricky Saints isn't the biggest guy in the world, but he's also not the smallest guy in the world either. And he was just fucking hoisting him like nothing. That was good shit. Just watching this entrance here, UFC. Okay, and Collision. Any updates on Collision? Solid B+. There you go. I guess they were delaying AAA. Oh, is AAA on too? You lying. Hold on. Is it on YouTube? I'm going to throw it on. You guys are lying. A for show. Solid B. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, just started. Oh, fuck. Well, let me pull up YouTube and let me get AAA on. What's going on here? Pardon me. And then we'll do AEW news. And thanks, over 220 locked in. It's Saturday night. You guys could be doing anything else in the world. You're here with me. I appreciate that. And we were kind of just watching a match there instead of fucking going off about the IWC and shit. So I appreciate you guys staying locked in for that. And yeah, we have RoboCop making his entrance here in UFC. This match, or this fight rather, is going to end in a KO. Maybe not. I don't know. But RoboCop always puts on good fights. He just goes out there and slugs. And he starches motherfuckers. And this is going to be a banger. Yeah, and I got AAA on, guys. It's YouTube, though. I got to skip the fucking ad. Let's go. Getting a Popeyes ad here. Okay, are we live? Yeah, I need to fast forward a little bit. There we go. Okay. Yeah, we got Psycho Clown in them on screen. Let's go. Okay, chugging down coffee. AEW news time. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for everyone's favorite segment called Tony Khan. Or if your name is Tony Khan, you're going to love this segment. And Ichi Nissan da for AEW News. Patreon.com/Pro Wrestle Times. So David Finlay, he got signed by AEW, and, you know, people were speculating that he was wanted by WWE to join NXT, and allegedly, according to the sheets and whatnot. And we saw Sapp was melting down over Meltzer said what, and fucking was DMing him something about like Finlay's team, or maybe this was public, but Sapp said like Finlay's team couldn't find a clip of Meltzer saying Finlay was supposed to go to WWE, but whatever the fuck. And then Meltzer said what, pulled like 3 or 4. We covered it on fucking Thursday's Dave Meltzer Dumb Moment of the Week. And so it was a double ponage there. And yeah, you know, everybody was like, hey, Finlay's going to go to WWE. He's expected to go. They want him in this angle. And then it's like, oh, well, AEW beat WWE. AEW beat WWE. And I'm sure they did. Like, if you go to NXT and then he leads the faction of, what are they called again? Birthright. And they were teasing it on NXT. Oh, I'm going to talk to my dad. Uriah Connors was like, I'm going to talk to my dad and find us a leader. And then Finlay shows up in AEW. I think that is the best place for him right now. And I think we looked up his age and he's 27. So for the next 3 to 5 years, you go to AEW, and then you could possibly debut on the main roster of WWE. And you're going to make more money here. And in NXT, yeah, it would be cool if he was the leader of the Birthright or whatever. But then what do they change his name to? David Connors. To match his brother, or does he just stay David Finlay? But then why isn't his brother just called David Finlay? And I'm not triggered that like, oh, they changed all these wrestlers' names, you know, Uriah Connors and then Lexis King, and then they start this Birthright faction. It's not shitty that their names are different and they're making their own names, and WWE own the fucking IP or whatever to these names. But they're still paying homage to their parents, or their faction is based around, well, our parents are famous wrestlers. Like tons of actors in Hollywood don't take their fucking parents' last names. They just like make up names, or like Nicolas Cage just made that name up, I believe, right? Didn't he? Isn't Nicolas Cage a fake name? Is Nicolas Cage a fake name? It's got to be. It sounds way too badass. Yeah, it's a fake stage name. Right? And so you do that to distance yourself from a relative, or to just because you want a stage name. You know, it's not uncommon to do that in the entertainment business, just in general, in every field. So I'm not like mad at that when they go like, oh, this faction's called Birthright and they all have different names. But if David Finlay comes in as David Finlay, it is kind of silly if his brother's just Uriah Connors or whatever. And when he's alluding to, oh, I'm going to go ask my dad and shit. Yeah, I get why that might trigger some folks. But if people wanted to see him in WWE, it was obviously going to be through NXT first. Like, they're not just going to send him to the main roster. And so the narrative begins that he was offered a deal to begin in NXT, and they wouldn't budge on their offer. As a result, Finlay ended up picking AEW. And the narrative always is, oh, they chose AEW over WWE. They chose AEW over NXT, Brian. You know, fuck NXT. They don't pay them there, blah, blah, blah. And obviously Tone's going to shill out way more money to this guy than he would be getting in NXT. And he's going to be like a main dude. The best guy is Tony Khan. Win trios titles and all that shit. So shout out David Finlay. I think and the Dogs, by the way, are the team name. So they were the War Dogs, Gabriel Kidd, Clark Connors. I was going to say Uriah Connors again, because that's David Finlay's brother in fucking NXT. But Clark Connors and then Finlay instead of the War Dogs. Here's Tone's great idea. Are you guys ready? I have a great idea. They're called the Dogs. They're not the War Dogs. They're the Dogs.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
Fucking brilliant. Brilliant. But yeah, they'll win the trios titles. But and here's the thing, maybe them facing like Hurt Syndicate, Hurt Business or whatever. That could be fucking awesome. And RoboCop with a huge knockout. And this is what I fucking knew was going to happen. That rules. So, in other roster news, let me just make sure there's nothing else on Finlay and I Like to Fight. In other roster news and signing news, Kevin Knight has re-signed with AEW. And it's like, didn't he just sign? And then didn't he sign at the same time as Mike Bailey? Obviously, they're on different times or whatever. But I'm going to tell you this right now. They're doing a disservice to Kevin Knight, and they're doing a disservice to MJF and whoever their world champion and all of their champions are by having Kevin Knight have these banger title matches against whoever the champion is, and then he just barely scrapes, or he loses ultimately, but the champs barely scrape by Kevin Knight. That's doing everybody a fucking disservice.
Stupid idiot.
But he just re-signed, and Mike Bailey will keep you updated on his contract, I guess, as it becomes a thing. Speaking of which, Roosh was sent, and this is according to Brian Alvarez. Okay.
Brian.
He says that Roosh was sent to an NFL doctor who told him he could either get knee surgery and be out for a considerable amount of time or do 3 months of hard rehab and see how he felt. Apparently, rehab went well as he returned last night and told people the knee felt great. So shout out Roosh. I suppose he's back. He's doing his damn thing. In other news surrounding the tag titles, which Roosh, I'm sure, will be getting a shot at sooner or later when he teams up with Mortis, or Taurus, I mean, not Mortis, pardon me. So the AEW World Tag Team Championship belts have been updated. Okay, so the side plates went from featuring pile drivers to the Meltzer drivers and shit. Look at how cringe this is. The Shatter Machine. And then look, one of the Bucks literally upside down with his ass in the air, getting drilled in the ass by the AEWA. Like these old titles are way better. The old version of this belt is way better. The plates are way better. Instead, they add the Shatter Machine. Okay. It looks like this dude's blowing this dude while holding this other dude down. It looks like one dude's holding a dude down so he can get blowed by one dude. And then this looks like two dudes 69ing and a other guy with his ass in the air getting drilled by the fucking A, doing flips. Whereas a Gotch-style pile driver, it just looks like a dude's getting pile driven with his balls getting grabbed with a reach around happening, right? All kind of sus. All a little sus, not going to lie. But the older belt was better. I don't know why they fucking changed it. We're going to honor you. FTR and the Bucks, the greatest tag teams of all fucking time. Right? And in other title news here, Persephone beat Mercedes Moné to win the CMLL World Women's Championship. From me in Mexico. I was there on vacation. So here you go, Persephone with the big dub.
Sí, ahí toma el impulso. Atención a esto, porque viene con esa ramita directamente desde lo más alto. El conteo, el público cuenta. Y es así como el campeonato regresa a casa. Tiene lo mejor.
So Monet just dropping the belts, I guess, one by one. So everybody gave her shit. And I think they kind of fucking... Well, nobody owes anybody shit. They don't owe her an apology.
Sometimes in life,
but it's
you gotta
like,
be a hoe.
I don't know. She went and did the thing. Like, she is dropping titles to people slowly but surely over time. It's not all at once. She didn't just drop them all to someone so that they could drop them to a bunch of other people. All she's done was win a bunch of titles, go around the indies like she said she was going to do, and then dropped belts to people that are on the come up. I don't know if you can even really shit on that. I think she kind of did what she said she was going to do and Yes, you can be critical of her and say she's cringe and she doesn't do shit for AEW. That's all true. All fucking true. But, I mean, can you fucking really shit on her doing what she said she was going to fucking do, man? And not fucking everybody over, not just dropping the 10 belts to someone else to go drop them. She's shown up to all these shows in these different feds and dropped the titles one by one. And even in AEW, big events, dropping titles to people. She's never captured the world women's either. It's still evaded her. So the whole thing wasn't her collecting all the belts and the women's title. The whole thing to her was collect all these belts, lose them all, and then she'll get the women's AEW world title when she doesn't have any of the other belts. You know, they kind of swerved everyone with that shit. You got to be honest. But speaking of women's champions, Tekla had this to say, and she's got the sauce, man. I ain't going to hate on Tekla. It's going to take a lot to get me to hate on Tekla.
Tell us a little bit about what this promotion is all about.
Right, so we are the hot new thing on the wrestling landscape.
Tell us about what this promotion's all about, and that's why I kicked your leg from your leg, Brett.
So we are the second biggest wrestling company in the whole world. And when it comes to mainstream media right now, we're killing it, you know. So we are basically like the
Monet dropped the TBS, she dropped the CMLL, she dropped the Rev Pro, or like the Undisputed. So that's like 2 titles she dropped. She dropped that fucking other one. She beat that girl who got the WWE tryout. I can't remember the name of all the indie belts, guys. I'm sorry. There's that girl, Phoenix, whatever the fuck her name is. She got a WWE tryout. She was sitting in the crowd at NXT. So Monet beat that girl, right? But she dropped an indie title right around that time, right after that or right before that as well. So it's been a handful, and we'll see. But I think what everyone thought was she was just going to lose them all to someone so that they could go get pinned a bunch. Or she's going to just vacate them all, pull like a fucking, no, I don't want to shit on Matt Cardona, but just pull like one of these wrestlers that vacates all their belts, then dips out kind of thing. A lot of people were saying she's just going to vacate them. There's no way she loses all of them, but she takes losses, man.
The new kid in school, you know, the new kid in town. Everybody's talking about us. So wrestling, it's the alternative. It's very fun.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And like we said, this is you guys' first stop in Tucson. So I know that you guys have been around since 2019.
This woman here's got the fucking female version of, well, come on down. Well, welcome to the radio show. Currently, we got Thekla. What is that, your name, Thekla? That's a cute accent. Where'd you come from, Toots? Right? She's got like the female equivalent of that.
What can people expect from this Tucson arena come tomorrow night? Tucsonans that are watching here that say, well, maybe I'm free tomorrow night. What can they expect? What are they in store?
So AEW is all about diversity. We got the highest high flyers. We got the biggest boys. We got the craziest girls, you know, so it's a big party. I heard, as I said before, the Tucson crowd is really rowdy. Right. So I think for people who are seeing it for the first time, maybe you have an image in your head. It might be very different from what it's actually like. You know, it's really cool.
Everything she's saying, selling the game though. Like, is this not someone you want representing your fucking? You know, she's well spoken. She's fucking she's like, we got the biggest guys. That might not be the truth, but she's getting the shit over. I don't know. It works better than Orange Cassidy is all I'm saying.
It's really an experience, you know, that you should have at least one time in your life. So if you're in the area, you don't have anything to do, just come on down and see us do our thing.
Absolutely. I mean, it's sure to not disappoint here. Now, you've only been with AEW for about 10 months, already rising to champion. Give us a little history on your backstory, how you came into AEW and what you were doing before that.
So I'm originally from Vienna, Austria, so I'm European, did my thing over there. Then I went to Japan, was living there for 5 years. Was getting beat up over there, learned how to beat up them too, you know, and it's just started getting really good at this thing, you know. I held a couple of championships over there, came over here, and then 8 months, you know, I had my debut in El Paso last year, and then I came back on Wednesday as a champ, you know. I mean, look at that.
Yeah, Tekla rules. Moving along here. Speaking of appearances and coming back and all of this shit, we have Big Boom AJ. Now, if you guys follow the Costco guys outside of pro wrestling, the fall off. Now, I don't follow them, but I follow like YouTube channels or like who are these podcasts and people who make fun of shit like this, you know what I mean? And it's, you know, the Costco guys have had a fall off. It's been rough for them, right? And kind of what's going around the internet right now is like they're just drained of energy. It seems like artificial, like they're just like lifelessly, soullessly making these fucking videos now, and they just look dead behind their eyes. That's kind of what people are saying about them in like the internet sphere, in the internet in general, right? And I think Tony Khan horrifically botched this crossover. Like he really did. Now he's stuck with Big Boom AJ as a fucking, or AJ Bufumo or whatever the fuck his name is. They're stuck with this guy as like he's just a serious wrestler now. You know? And then you have the Rizzler, who's still immensely popular, by the way. But that doesn't mean the Costco guys are, you know? And the Rizzler's still just like a little kid. I'm just a kid and life is a nightmare. So he's doing his thing. He's just like opening toys and shit like this. Again, I don't know. I watched, he went on the We Might Be Drunk pod. He did like a fucking 8-minute quick interview with Mark Normand. And I think like Dave Attell was on there. And it was so funny. And Rizzler was just talking about like opening toys. He's just real into opening toys and all this sort of shit, right? So he's still popping. Like they're trying to, you know, he's considered a big guest on pods and he doesn't really get, he's a fucking kid. So the reason why the Big Boom guy has always been roasted is because it's kind of weird that he's like making his family make these fucking weird videos. And as time's gone on, it just seems unnatural and forced and soulless kind of. I mean, they're famous for basically the Hawk to a Girl thing. They were just like, oh, I love chicken bakies. Of course I come to Costco and eat the chicken bakey. And then it's like, that's why you're famous? That can only last so long, you know? And so they're kind of falling off and now they're stuck. AEW stuck with these guys as like, what, serious wrestlers now? It's not like they're bringing new people in. And Tony missed the opportunity to book the shit correctly, and he missed the opportunity. He just keeps booking them on the pre-show in hopes that there's some virality there and it lures some of their online people to fucking buy their pay-per-view or what? I don't get it. Well, like, I get it. I get what Tone's doing and why he does it the same way every fucking time, but I don't get it. I don't know why he thought that would work. And I don't get why he thinks parading these guys out there on shows where you're having fucking death matches later in the night and shit would ever work. It's the dumbest thing. What kid who follows the Rizzler's parents or this asshole, the double chocolate chunk, whose kids' parents are going to be like, yeah, watch this AEW shit. Let's say they tried it one time. You probably got negative fans because of that. So again, he's returning to AEW, and where there used to be some hype or people going, hey man, good, this is a positive for AEW. It's not even a positive for AEW anymore to have these guys on their fucking shows.
Hey, Big Boom AJ, when's your next AEW wrestling match?
I'll be back in the ring next Sunday.
And with these guys losing popularity the way they fucking have, they might have ruined their chance of getting into WWE now, which is what AJ Bufumo, whatever the fuck, wanted to do. He wanted to go to WWE. They're WWE fans, right? So now they're just stuck with this guy's a serious wrestler now on the AEW roster. It's fucking crazy.
Wrestling match.
I'll be back in the ring next Sunday, March 15th at AEW Revolution, live from Los Angeles. Don't miss it.
Hey, Big Boom AJ, when's your next AEW wrestling match?
Right there, just a quick clip. So he's going to be there in a fucking match, and it is what it is, man. I don't know what to tell you. Speaking of fucking some dumb shit with the roster. The roster doing dumb shit that's fallen off. It's Sting. I don't know if that'll ever fall off, but Tony Schiavone is listed as co-owner of the It's Sting trademark, recently filed by Sting. So they filed the trademark, It's Sting. So if you do something like It's Sting with like just one eye and not multiple eyes, are you able to circumvent that? They probably got that covered. I'm sure Sting's got like immaculate lawyers over the fucking years and all the places he's worked and kept his gimmick and sold his shit, and he's always owned his own shit. In other just fucking dumb AEW shit, I guess, Swerve Strickland gives his honest thoughts on John Cena's rap career. Now, this is the biggest projection fucking ever. I gotta be honest, okay? So if you ask around, Swerve is the guy faking the funk and isn't even really like a hip hop rap guy. And that was sort of a gimmick that AJ Francis like sort of bestowed or helped him develop or helped get over with the whole Hit Row thing. And he's not even really a hip hoppy rap dude. Never has been. That's why he's not good at rap. I'm sorry. Swerve is like one of the worst rappers. I'm sorry. Period. Point fucking blank period. He's one of the worst. Especially if you want to talk wrestlers that make music, fucking Nikita Lyons rivals his shit. Okay. And that's not even me being shitty towards Swerve. I like Swerve. I like his in-ring work. I like his promos. His shit's over. His style of wrestling, he's smooth with it. You know, he's bulked up. He can be serious. Is he in the best promotion in the world? No. Is his storylines the best? No. Do they know really how to book him that good? No. Tone doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, but Swerve is all right. You know? And I'll always say that. He blocked me on Twitter. I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to change my opinion. Like, he's a dude who listens to the criticism, applies it to his fucking, to his game, and he's gotten better, I think, over time. But he says dumb shit like this, and he goes, he shits on John Cena's persona and how the rapping shit was just a persona. Now it was, and friend of the show, Matt Morgan, has come on this show, PWT, and said, I went up and down the roads with John Cena, and I'll tell you, he's fake as fuck. Like, this is the whole rap thing, dude. He listened to rock music and he fucking da-da-da-da-da, right? So maybe it's true, but it's funny coming from Swerve when Swerve is the worst. John Cena's 8 million times a better rapper than Swerve is. And this is literally what people say about Swerve, what he's about to say about Cena. So, and Cena went fucking platinum. Okay? Swerve's video, no offense, if we go look up the Top Rope Catch a Vibe video on AEW Music's channel, it's not going to have a lot of views. I'm just going to be honest. And not that that means everything, but let's compare Top Rope Catch a Vibe, then I swerve when I ride to your time is up, my time is now, or even this is basic thugonomics, this is word life, you know? Compare either of those songs to either of Swerve songs. Let's just be honest here. So let's listen to Swerve kind of take shots at Cena.
I got it. It was satirical comedy to me. You know,
made me think about, okay, because you kind of are innovative with doing that, of bridging both of those worlds, bringing it into the wrestling world. How did you feel about the rap side of John Cena?
When
that first came?
Yeah, I got it. It was satirical comedy to me. You know, I would say the first like real like person to bridge the gap was R-Truth. Hip hop, wrestling, hip hop.
Good point.
So I always give him his flowers for that, because he was like linking up with Tupac and shit way back. So like he's a pioneer for that for sure. And Jericho with like Fozzy and not hip hop, but definitely different genres, crossover musicians. Cena.
See, he asked him specifically about the rap shit, and then Swerve goes to just music in general. And I just think that's a little telling. No, his mind went to like all this rock shit, and then think about Swerve's new theme song as well. It's more like rockish, you know?
Like just like it felt like it was a persona it was a skill he had, but I didn't think he understood what the skill was. I felt like it was just him joking.
Yeah.
And then it turned.
He didn't understand what the skill was, brother. John Cena's by no means the best technical rapper who ever lived. And yes, did he work with songwriters and shit? He did. Cena had guys that penned some shit for him on his album, 100%. Here's the thing, though. he would battle rap. He would just walk up and battle rap fans and shit. If they battle rapped right fucking now, who wins, Swerve or Cena? Let's just be honest about it. Let's talk about it. Where's my Trick Williams here, dude? Let's talk about it. Okay, who wins that battle right now?
Let's talk about it.
I don't think Swerve stands a chance, dude. So I would watch that whole fucking, he just didn't know what it was. He was good at this thing, but he didn't know how to use it. Come on, bro. What are you talking about? He literally got over as a rapping guy with the knucks and the chain and all this shit.
Gil was. I felt like it was just him joking.
Yeah.
And then it turned into like he discovered he fell into something.
Yeah.
You know, and then he's like, okay, now I'm going to go full force with this.
Yeah.
You know, and then like that became a little satire on TV.
Yeah.
And then it became like, oh, actually, we're going to make an album. It's going to sell really well. And I'm going to put you there with Murs and like actually like real MCs and stuff.
Yeah.
So that kind of like.
Here's the thing. Was Murs on Cena's album? I don't remember. I know that Cena did a Murs track, but was that he did a feature on Murs' stuff? And maybe WWE linked that up, but also Murs is kind of underground. I'm pretty sure his name stands for Making Underground Raw Shit. So I'm curious if was Murs on John Cena's album? Was Murs on John Cena's album? Just look that up quick. He might have written on it. No, he wasn't on his album, but he was on, HUST Hustle. HUSTLE Hustle. I think Swerve is coping here.
On a life of its own for Cena. It was really cool seeing it like firsthand, like as a kid, like you understood the pathway that it was really opening up. So it was really cool to see it like as for me. Like
fuck all these guys, man. Too cool. Scotty too hottie and the Grandmaster. Those are who fucking bridge the gap between hip hop. No, but let's be honest here. What about ICP? You're just skipping over them. And they're not the best rappers in the world either. Better than Swerve.
Because it was like, oh, so white rapper rapping and like wearing the jeans and jeggings and all these like, you know, chains and throwback jerseys and hats and stuff. I was like, oh, I get the joke. I get it. But then it became like, oh, this is actually a real persona.
Yeah,
you know,
it's coming.
It was kind of jokish because he went balls to the wall, but it locked in and became serious. So isn't that what you want? Huh. So, guys, let me check in here. John O'Maloney for 2 says Lucha's on right now, Phil. Best guys, PWT for life. Dude, thank you so much for your
best
support.
guys, Tony Khan.
And we're about to get into the best guys, Tony Khan segment here a little bit. And I've got Lucha on. I do. And TJP was out there looking good. I got UFC on as well. I'm a little distracted. Okay. We got some bangers coming up here. Dober's about to fight Johnson here. This is going to be a good one. Such a lame. And I acknowledge everyone here who super chats, become a member, gift a membership, check out Patreon, all that good shit.
Acknowledge me.
Over 200 on a Saturday. You can't ask for anything better. Appreciate you guys so much. Okay, such a lame. Hard to tell if this is head or hitter, if he tucked it enough. Can anyone do the hip hop drop? Yeah, Grandmaster Sexay, baby. Spoiled rich army brat faking the funk. Okay. Did you see Santos drop iguana on his fucking head? Oh yeah, what about Caster too? Yo, Max Caster rules. Max Caster rules. Look up PN News 902 WCW. What are you trying to say, bud? Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, this next little section is called The Best Guys, Tony Khan, and we had
the best guys, Tony Khan.
Friend of the show, Rabid Wolverine LC Killer 17 was in the crowd for the last Dynamite. Round of applause for him in chat right now, I believe. And here is what Tony Khan said to the crowd. Let's take a listen.
Great to be back for AEW in El Paso! Justin, I have an
In
idea.
El Paso! Holy.
We're seconds away from going live. How long do we got? 35 seconds. I think we should.
Oh, no, I gave you more time. Oh, no, I did. Just wait. I'm going to go hard on time. Can you give me more time?
Live, how long do we got? 35 seconds. I think we should make these El Paso fans the show open. Let's have them start the show tonight. Yes! Let's make them the stars of the show. Get up on your feet. Great to be back for
We got Jesus Christ.
AEW.
Okay, get ready for the show.
Let's have them start the show tonight. Yes! Let's make them the stars of the show. Get up on your feet.
Let's make them the stars of the show. Ugh. Trying so. Let's make them the stars of the show tonight. They're the real stars, the people who are still willing to give me $1 for this shit. Which we're going to get into in a minute because AEW's gouging fucking for seats. But those close to Tony Khan, and it's funny that Dave Meltzer saying this, so everybody flutes in the chat. It's time for Dave Meltzer. Dave Meltzer is going those close to Tony Khan, bro. So you mean
or the young superstar, babyface, the former heel thing. So
he called you and said this, and so apparently Tony Khan says that he was thrilled when the news came out about the proposed Paramount purchase of WBD. His feeling that this was the best possible scenario for
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard, coping and seething.
I mean, come on, man. There's no fucking way that he's possibly excited about this. And especially because of one thing that, Niccolo Piccolo pointed out. So Nick predicted all of this shit, how this is played out to a fucking T in a thread thus far with Paramount, right? And Tony Khan got Casey Wasserman and people to fucking reach out to Paradigm to fucking tell Nick to cool it on the shit he was saying. So now he's stoked on this thing that he tried to get a Hollywood agent to stop talking about this stuff. You guys know what I'm saying? So how does that fucking make sense then, Tone? You're actually really stoked on it? I don't believe that. He's just staying positive and saving face, and that's fine. Again, guys, I said this every time. And this is the Observer saying it. I mean, this could be Dave just making this shit up unless he has a real Tony Khan quote and them saying those close to Tone. So Dave or Bry. Well, not Bry, actually, but Dave. Tone should go out there and be like, oh, yeah, chin up. We're all good. But he just seems like the type of guy, he lets the wrestlers stay with him till the very last minute. They hold a belt to the very last second. Then they just kind of secretly drop a title, then leave. So it seems like he's going to just keep the TBS and TNT titles around. Oh, everything's great. Our viewership's up, blah, blah, blah. Then they'll just end up on Amazon. And it's like a Dixie Carter move to just, no, everything's good while we're on. Well, we just had to borrow $2 million from Billy Corgan, or else this next week's Impact wouldn't go on the air, and we're moving from the Pop channel to Destination America, or vice versa, or whatever. You guys know what I'm saying? She just did it with a fucking straight face, and everything's great. Even though our name got switched to Global Force Wrestling for a month, and then it got switched back. Everything's fine. Don't worry. Right? That seems to be how Tone plays this, and I'm not surprised, motherfucker, because That's what he's done this whole time. He's made every mistake and made every lol cow mistake of every bad wrestling booker before him, or not even bad, but just, let's say they used to call Bischoff, like you could say he was a good booker and promoter. They called him ATM Eric. Well, Tone's ATM Tone. What the fuck does that make Tony then? And Dixie Carter was just delusional about everything and would fucking ignore like glaringly bad signs and things like this. Tone does the same thing. So, and they're both rich people's kids. Go figure, right? Say his name and he appears. I believe in Tone. So Tony Khan, Wrestling Observer newsletter, says, hello, I can confirm this wholeheartedly that I feel thrilled and great for AEW.
The best guy is Tony Khan.
Who the fuck is this guy? Oh my God. Someone gift him a fucking membership. What's going on here? So yeah, Tone just got roasted for this. Like this guy here says at Emmy_Islam something. Does the Snowman know Ellison's relationship with TKO? Netflix buying WB would have been better for AEW as they would keep their television division intact. True, dude. That's absolutely true. TKO will persuade Ellison to have AEW shop to another network. It's not even, they don't even have to persuade it. It's set in stone. It's written in the stone. And the reason for that is because he's calling the wrong people bald assholes and Harvey Weinsteins. A long time ago that happened. So you should have showed humility, dude. And you have like the wrestlers going around talking so much shit. And they just fuck themselves. And Tone saying this, he's just trying to save face. It's really all it is. He's just trying to stay optimistic. But unfortunately, what is he going to do when he ends up on Amazon? Then they can just completely lie about the numbers. Drew Dober just fucking KO'd Michael Johnson. And the meme continues for Drew Dober. Those who know. But Tone is really backed into a corner. And you see signs like this and Will Ospreay sharing fucking this stuff, just coping. Ospreay copes harder than anybody over the Fed and Triple H. Like 100%. He's coping hard as fuck constantly. And this fan brought a sign saying, I didn't have to sell a kidney to be here at AEW. Will Ospreay posted it. And you see Tekla making a play at the casuals saying, what, chat? Oh, you know, if you've never seen this and you want to come see this show and you've never seen it, it's something you should see once at least in your life. And then they're running these promotions. We got the cheapest tickets. Well, why do you need to flex that you have the cheapest tickets when Dave Meltzer
poor
said,
people don't like AEW.
And ticket sales are up, but you're giving them away at a staggering pace and you're doing school giveaways that with $10 tickets on top of it. So you guys are making plays at casuals. Clearly now you want the casuals after fuck a casual. We don't want casuals, gatekeeping casuals. Fuck a casual. We're for the sickos only. These tickets are too expensive. Now we got the cheap tickets. Even though Tone was trying to sell expensive tickets. And as I pointed out on this fucking show before, when he goes to Australia, they ain't cheap. But then nobody shows up. So then those expensive tickets, okay, they made up for it because they got free upgrades. But realistically, if that shit sold out, you weren't getting free fucking upgrades. And then maybe the tickets are worth it because it's a fucking sellout. But that wasn't going to happen. Tone tried to gouge. So when AEW tries to gouge or Tone goes in front of the fucking crowd and he goes, pay-per-view, everyone chant pay-per-view. No one gives a fuck. But when WWE goes, oh, this is a record-setting gate. Or this is how expensive our tickets are. Oh, it's consumerism. It's capitalism, man. It's just corporate greed, man. Okay? So take a look at this. Here's another event. Where's the outrage, I tweet? Look at AEW. $600 tickets. You know what I'm saying? $600 tickets for section 101. This is at AEW Revolution. The price range for tickets, the most expensive is $2,200. Who the fuck's paying for that to go see AEW? Let's look at the AEW Revolution card. AEW Revolution. Who the fuck's paying these prices? And then the cheapest ones you can get, which you can see here. Shout out whoever sent this to me as well. I don't want to fucking say it, or they'd have just posted it themselves. $63 is the cheapest ticket. So again, that's kind of egregious too. The indies charging like 50, 60, $75 for shows. That's kind of bullshit. The indies get called out for doing that same shit. So let's look at this card really quickly. I mean, are you paying $2,000? Chat, let me know honestly. Don't even try and be funny. Well, I try and be funny, but seriously. $600 or $2,000. I guess $2,200 is like the most expensive package, premium, whatever the fuck. I'm assuming, right? Because that's the price range that's set here. $34 is the cheapest. $63 is for section 300, which is like way far back, if I'm right, from the fucking floor. $600 for like the middle of section 100. Is that not fucking gouging for this card? Be honest, guys. The main event, MJF Hangman. Like, we just fucking saw, like, we just seen these guys wrestle. They were just in a fucking forward, like, MJF Hangman. FTR versus the Bucks. Oh. Moxley versus Takeshita. Brother.
Exactly. No pop.
They did Takeshita Okada on a fucking Dynamite, didn't they? With a screwdriver stabbing, or was that on the pay-per-view? I might be conflating screwdriver. I can't even speak. I might be conflating screwdriver stabbings and pay-per-view matches, but god damn it, man. Is this worth $2,000? And that's not gouging to even offer a package. Oh, you get to meet a random superstar. And WWE's starting to do that bullshit too. You get to meet a random superstar. We're not locking anyone in for sure. They got more of that going on than in the past. Some, if you really pay attention, some fans are pointing that out. But AEW does that. Like, you can't afford to do that. Why do you think you can charge $600 for tickets? We're the family. We got cheap tickets. Except for when you try to gouge for these big events. Except for when you go to Australia. Except for when you go to the UK for All In. You're going to fucking gouge people and then paper the house. And then go, ticket sales are up. No, you've distributed thousands and hundreds more free ones, and the price went fucking down, and you're giving them away. Andrade versus Bandito. Okay, I mean, that'll probably give you your money's worth. Brody King versus Swerve Strickland. Like, come on. Tekla versus Statlander. Okay, I mean, the Callis family. Okada, Fletcher, and Mark Davis are taking on Mystico and Jet Speed. $600, please. Big Boom AJ versus To Be Announced. And then Tony Storm versus Marina Shafir. Are you going to smash your wallet to oblivion? $2,000, man? Are we looking at the cheap ticks? Well, yeah, we're looking at the fucking $600 for that. Even $600. Forget 2 Gs. That's pretty crazy, chat. Like, and if you're a fan of this, good on you. But like, why would you pay this when they're going to give it all away for free? They're just going to paper the shit out of it the day of. And what does it say when they're like, hey, if you're a student of this place? So the diehard fans are paying this fucking premium. But hey, if you're a student of this place, we'll get you in here. $10 a ticket. If you're a student, you get a free one, and then for every ticket you buy, bring 3 friends, $30. That's cheap as fuck. Come to the show. That's awesome, but what does that tell people about the value of the shit? And then it means you're trying to bring in casuals because you want people to bring friends. Great, I'm happy. How can they become fans of this when the fan base rejects them and tells them to fuck off? And then these casuals show up and people are chanting horse cock. How's that? And you're supposed to be on TNT and everyone's like, well, this is a television wrestling promotion and it's not that it has to be PG family friendly, but like, fuck, man. I just don't know if you're doing this the right. You should have listened a long time ago and tightened it up a little bit. A flaming table here or there. Okay. FTW title. Okay. That's your hardcore division. Keep all the crazy deathmatch shit there and say FTW titles, the hardcore division, but it's a little more hardcore than the hardcore division because deathmatch is a thing nowadays that some people like, but we're not going to David Arquette stab you in the fucking neck with a shard of glass, right? We're not going to go that far, but we're not going to do gussets, but like, Darby, go do your crazy shit. And if you beat Moxley, oh well.
Wrestling's not fake!
It's a death match, whatever. Like they had the opportunity to just make it kind of more for the casuals as well and then be more welcoming instead of just fuck the casuals. Literally from dirt sheet journalists to hardcore fans to people with YouTube followings to people like Justin Wang and these guys to people like to just your average sicko bots online. Fuck a casual was the narrative for like 4 years, man. We're just going to ignore that. Now we're just trying to get casuals in AEW. And then you're going to try and gouge and charge this much. So where's the outrage? Why can AEW do that? But WWE can't do that when they at least offer like the best production, the biggest names in the sport. It's a problem when one does it, but not the other. It's so cooked and good for AEW. I hope they sell out at these prices. I honestly do. I want wrestling to just be hot across the board. But like, this isn't the fucking move, especially when you want to say ticket sales are up year over year, like MJF's saying, and then you go and look the shit up and it's not true. And then everyone's crying about selling a kidney now. And then you're fucking talking 600 to 2,200 to go see MJF Hangman. Like, I don't know, dude. It's pretty crazy, but it is what it is. I guess it's a PLE, but look at that card. That's like any collision has a fucking quote unquote stacked card like that. Those are matches you see on fucking Dynamites and shit. 4v4, $500,000 tag match. People see matches like that on fucking Dynamite and shit. I don't know if that's going to work. And that, ladies and gentlemen, Ichi Nissan for AEW news. They're gouging fans. They're gouging fans. This is the best guy's Tony Khan. Rabid Wolverine Elsa Killer 17 for 5. Thanks for that video, dude. I appreciate that. The guy who made that sign was drinking 5 beers. Oh, so it was me? No, I wasn't there. Are you sure I was there? No, dude. That's awesome. Good for him. I mean, it is what it is, dude. And the beers were probably overpriced considering how these venues do people nowadays. But, yeah, Plinian says, thanks for the fun tonight, Phil. I hope everyone had a good one. I got to get some sleep. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's LA, so it's not hard, but still, that's a solid house. Whose house? Already have 10K tickets sold for Revolution. Yeah, distributed for Revolution is the thing. So. And they're just giving tickets away like hotcakes. Oh, no, a Maven video came up. So AAA's done. And then all of a sudden, hi, guys, Maven here. And between the years of 2003 and 2005, I had the greatest job in the world, being a professional WWE wrestler. Yeah, AAA did their thing. That shit flew by, figuratively and literally. The luchadors flying around and all that good shit. It's good to see TJP back as well. But Tone and them are like paper and houses like a motherfucker, dude. So last time they were in Cali for that Dynamite, they did a good house as well, quote unquote. It was like 3,500 tickets or whatever. But, you know, JJ had, he got an email or whatever from someone from a school, and they were talking about how everybody got free tickets. Everyone was given multiple free tickets, and that means they went to everywhere for that to fucking happen. Like, it's just not looking good. And when they go back to the UK, ooh, rough. And hopefully, yeah, they make some fucking money on this show. Over 10K distributed for Revolution. That's fucking good, man. What building are they in? How many does it seat? How many tickets distributed for AEW Revolution currently? And then it's in the crypto, right? So approximately, yeah, it's like 10,000. Who's fighting next? Font and Rosas Jr. Let's fucking go. Here, so crypto arena capacity. 20,000. Oof. That's okay. That's okay, though. Still 10K for AEW. That's really good, man. They typically do around that for pay-per-views, though, no? No, I think some of them have been a little less as of late, but hopefully they can... I don't know. If they're in LA, they're just giving tickets away like a motherfucker. You already know that's what they're doing. Maven is a great guy. I have high regard for Maven. This Tony Control's fun. Later, Mike. Yeah, Pliny, and take it easy, dude. Bye, Plin. Yeah, it's LA, so it's not that hard, but still, it's a solid house. Whose house? Yeah, I read that. Okay. Ladies and germs, yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Over 3 hours. It has been a blast, and UFC's on. I'm gonna finish out these last couple fights. Stay on the lookout for PWT Pod 103. I got 2 in the chamber coming. I want to try and have Evil Dose on to talk about. He's pitched like a wrestlers union thing to fucking, he'll come and explain it, I'm sure, on the program. And so stay on the lookout for that. And I have one covering that dude who is like fighting wrestlers and challenging them to fights and all of that sort of shit. So stay on the lookout for that. Appreciate you all. Round of applause for the PWT universe. Always showing up and showing out, hanging out, watching tons of graps. I'm fucking, my brain scrambled from all the different fights and shows and graps and graps. It's been spectacular. And yeah. What else? I just feel like there's something I forgot to plug this whole fucking time. Doesn't matter. Patreon.com. You all take it easy. I love you. Be good to each other. I've been watching the Transformer movies, right? And I've been playing some 2K26 in my downtime. So look out for me on Twitch. That's probably what I was thinking of. I'm going to start popping up on Twitch with my universe and whatnot. And I'm going to get that going soon. So yeah. Appreciate you all for being here. Be good to each other.
It is a fast-acting viral strain that infects the host immediately, and upon getting sick, the infected will become racked with coughs, sweat profusely, and start to get the shivers and chills.
There he is, the legend. The man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah. You can't literally run a promotion just for the AEW, what do they call them, sickos?
Thank you very much, TikTok and AEW. See you tonight.
Tony Khan started telling people there's no such thing as long-term booking anymore. It's week to week.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
We just secured the bag.
It's not like I tried to be a character. It was just sort of happened naturally. But it was never something I intended. It was just something that happened because the wrestlers asked me to do things in matches, and I do them.
If you run a promotion just for the sickos, you're going to do 400,000 viewers eventually.
Mother effing melts. You know that SmackDown actually went over and everything?
Yeah.
You know,
What's the point?
the point of SmackDown.
What are you getting at here?
That the DVRs didn't pick it up.
Did they not pick it up?
You know, mine didn't.
Let's get into everybody's favorite moment, and it is called Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week.
What would you like to listen to in your ears?
I'd like to hear the flute.
Well, if you'd like to flaunt your flute, then we can find you a flautist.
We have just secured the bag. It doesn't help me.
Okay, so complain, but
I will complain.
Let me have my misery.
And when I heard that, I was like, what?
Thank you, fuck you, bye. Boom.
You gotta run a promotion for everybody. The sickos can be the ones that buy tickets first and spend the most money on the merchandise.
Because we have just secured the bag.
But like, you gotta promote for everybody. Then you'll have a lot of viewers.
I think we proved a lot of so-called experts. We made them look like idiots. We're not going anywhere. Tony Khan's not going anywhere.
You'll also be there on TNT. You'll be in 2 places at once. You'll be like my favorite movie. Time. So great, Pittsburgh.
It's not like I tried to be a character. It sort of happened naturally.
the best guy is Tony Khan.
I